Welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have questions or comments, we have multiple ways we can be reached. Twitter is, of course, the best way for those that need instant gratification, and the show's Twitter feed is at SKiMPod, SKiMPod.
Stays Crunchy.
For the more patient amongst you, the email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Crunchy again being spelled with a K.
Crunchy.
Hey, feel free to give us a call at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311.
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
We're available by Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, anywhere fine podcasts are available. And of course, it's the website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share wherever possible, including on YouTube, where we can now be found at Stays Crunchy. And over on Twitch, we're still Stays Crunchy and Milk. Our personal Twitters are
Tatum216,
Lunchbox2099.
And I'm your host, the internet's Tayrel713.
Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy. Stays Crunchy.
So this past Saturday was a record store day. You remember, if y'all recall, I was like off by a month. I thought it was occurring at another time, but no, it turns out it was this past Saturday was record store day.
Yes.
And I get out. This is a regular occurrence for me. I go every year. I leave the house at the same time. I go to where I go get my records at, which is a record store in my neck of the woods in my neighborhood. And I get there, and the line is insane. And I'm like, what is going on? And then I'm sitting there in line. I drugged Lee with me because we were going to go driving that day. I was like, well, here, I just bring you with me, and we'll start driving after that. And I'm hanging out. And what I noticed, I'm like, an awful lot of ladies in this line, and that's simply not normal. Mostly the only ladies in line is me and Vanessa. Vanessa is with me, and that is it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on this? And I'm like, I know exactly what this is, and yes, I know this sounds misogynist, but it truly, I'm not saying this in that way. Taylor Swift had a record drop on Record Store Day.
Oh.
And them Swifties don't play. And they was there.
Wasn't a Target exclusive?
No, it was just what was this damn record? See if I can pull it up for you.
Do you give in a guess before he found it, Dan?
Oh, I have no idea.
No, that's why I was saying, do you have a guess?
Well, I mean, I don't know what the new album's called. Isn't that what came out?
No,
it wasn't. It's usually an older album.
Yeah, she dropping her her old catalog.
Yeah, they usually double dip for Record Store Day.
Yeah, it was Folklore of the Long Pond Studio Sessions. And it's like they had 75,000 copies. This record was not going to be difficult to be had, but it's on a day when most records are, a bit challenging to be had. And so I'm like, damn, this is really just fucked up my whole day, because I knew what it was going to be. Me being that far back in line, I mean, people were going to see things either that I wanted, and snag them ahead of me, or that's the main concern. You know what I'm saying? But I hang, and what's always fun about Record Store Day for me is meeting other record dorks in line, and it's a dude in front of me and a dude behind me. The dude in front of me, super chill vibes, no worries, telling me what he was there for. Found out that Lee's playing lacrosse, was super excited about it. I was like, I played lacrosse. That's cool. Blah, blah, blah. Y'all got a lacrosse team in this town? I go, yeah, we first year of this, and so forth and so on. Real chill vibes. The guy behind us just was the constant storyteller. You know what I'm saying? Would not stop talking about all the concerts he's gone to and how expensive they were and how much money he's about to spend at the record store because his wife gave him the gold card today, and he's gonna kick it and have a good time. And somebody comes up behind him and he's like, yeah, the line is real, and the guy's like, I know. I'm like, bro, you ain't hit the beat. I know I use way up here, but I get it. But the guy was also kind of chill, and some of his stories were interesting and so forth, saying things he's seen and so forth. But we asked him, like, yo, what are you here for? And he gets all quiet mouth as if we're going to take what he's there for. And I'm like, well, I'm here for this. And I pull out my phone and I show about because I always prepare for Record Store Day. I'm saying that way if usually it's Vanessa, but this time it's Leave. Like if we're both in there, I'm like, we're looking for these, you know. And I'm not ashamed to say what I'm looking for because I don't care. And I'm not going into it with the mindset that I'm going to somebody's going to take it from me, you know. But finally, he just kind of rolls and it's like, I'm looking for these things, and I go, oh, really? Okay. And we get in there, like I said, we deep in the line. So we get up there to the way they do it. They put the Record Store Day records at their counter. So basically, they do a line that wraps around the store. You just kind of go through and, you know, basically, if it's one person, go by yourself. If it's two people, like we were, 2 by 2. And we go through the crate, and I find a record Delvin wanted. I found a record Chalfie wanted. And I found a record that was on my list. One of the 4 I had on my list.
1 of 4?
1 of 4. Which is super disappointing to me because, like I said, I'm usually very good at knocking out, you know what I'm saying, knocking out the vast majority of them in a move, in a go at this place. But the guy had told me, the guy behind me who was like so scared to tell me what he wanted, I saw the record that he wanted, and I grabbed it and handed it back to him. He's right behind me. He's like, "Oh man, thank you so much." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm saying, you remember that next time, you fucker." But I'm hyped because I got Chalfie the record he really wanted because his record shop fell through. Even though they swore they would get it for him, they did not. I was happy to get a record for Delvin because that's the homie. So it's like that all worked itself out. But this is the main point of the story. So one of the records I wanted was this Bar Simpson of White Girl Wasted is the name of the song. It's got in this particular mix of the songs, MF Doom, J Electronica, and Bar Simpson. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, this is gonna be wild, and I'm super excited to have it and so forth. And it's a 7-inch single. Probably should have cost me about $18 tops. And they don't have it. And man, motherfucker. But what has always happened in years past is the day of Record Store Day, I can almost immediately go to eBay and get whatever I wanted for just a little more. Basically, we'll consider it a finder's fee. You know what I'm saying? Never something like usually honest to God, about $10 more than what I would have paid in shop. You know what I'm saying? And like half of that is shipping. So like honestly, like $5. So basically the gold price is about $5 more than normal. And I'm almost always willing to pay it. I go start looking for this Boris Simpson, and it's like two on eBay at this point, and they're both around $50. And I'm like, fuck you, sons of bitches! You know what you're doing. And I keep checking back as the day goes on. More keep showing up, but the price keeps just going up. And so at this point, it's like $75 for a copy. And I'm like, you sons of whores. So now I'm like, well, wait a minute. Let me see if I can just find one at a record store. Because record stores can start selling their record store stock usually the next day, but just seeing what's going on with price-wise and so forth. No one has it. And finally, I'm like, well, I go on Discogs all the time. I go on Discogs, and I find a copy. It's like $40. And I'm like, this is me paying twice as much as I should be for this record, but let me go ahead and get it while I can. I paid the $40, whatever. It'll show up when it shows up. It hadn't gotten here yet. But then I go and I go back through like maybe a day later. I'm just like, let me see what the price is looking like on Discogs. Now, the exact same shop I bought the record from has another copy, which basically means they was holding these copies to sell at a jacked up price anyway. $20-30 more than what I paid for it. I'm like, you piece of shit. You know, it's like you held these records, you know what I'm saying, that should be selling for $18 and are selling them at these exorbitant, jacked up ass prices. And I'm like, it's just so disrespectful. So that's two of 4 knocked out. Number 4, I know I'm not gonna be able to get. It's that Macho Man Randy Savage record. It's only 1,000 copies pressed. It's a record day exclusive. I'm simply not going to be able to buy without paying the gold. You know, paying at that price. That one's going for like, at last check, like $150, I think. And like I said, that should be like a $20 record. Let me see if I look up Macho Man, Randy Savage. Oh, I can't spell Savage today, can I?
21.
Can you do something for me? Macho Man's, if y'all didn't know, his record was called Be a Man. And let's see, where's this purple? Boom. Let's see what you think. What are we averaging on there? Seven copies for sale of a record that we know only has 1,000 copies pressed up. What do you think we're going for?
130.
Top of the key.
450.
Oh God, no, Box. We ain't there yet. Top of the key, 160 plus shipping. No, bottom of the key, 160 plus shipping. Top of the key, 250 plus shipping. Sheesh. All of them sealed record store copies in hand. I'm like, of course you are, you sons of bitches. So that one I accept. I'm not going to be getting. But the remaining record of that point that I super want, the 40th anniversary picture disc version of 99 Luftballons. If you know, you know. Love that song. Song has special meaning to me and me alone. And the next day, I'm on the vinyl release subreddit, and everybody's putting up their links. They're like, people who have record store day stock have click here, go here. I'm opening up all these and going through. And I find it at a record store in Alabama, 10,000 Hertz. I want to give them a shout out. And they had their record, and they had it at cost, at its normal price, which was $26. So probably makes it a $25 record. They charge like $1 more in shipping. And sure shit, I got that record, and so I have that, and that one showed up already, which is crazy to me because, like I said, I got records from other companies that have yet to show up, but that one showed up, and I was like, I'm very excited for that. So 3 out of 4 now, you know what I'm saying, have been taken care of. I'm still waiting on my Bar Simpson to arrive. It's supposed to be shipping from Florida, and they made the label, but they ain't shipped it yet. But a lot of records do that. They basically go to the post office once a week, you know, and they just send everything out. But I'm hoping he don't fuck around and be like, well, I shouldn't have showed it to you at that price because I could have got, you know, basically twice as much, and he just gives me my record. But if he does, that's gonna be a problem because disc guys don't really play that kind of shit. They don't like people, you know,
gouging.
Yeah. So we'll see how that plays itself out. But man, that's okay. So another thing about this Bart Simpson one is like, it's literally, imagine if the cover is, imagine Bart Simpson in an MF Doom mask.
Okay.
It's probably illegal in some way, shape, or form, even though it's like they pressed it up and whatever. We're gonna assume they got some kind of clearance, but the reality of it is that shit could probably get somebody in trouble. And it's on this label called Dope, DAUPE. And everything Dope sells, how funny, in the realm of hip hop, goes for these outlandish prices. It always ends up just tripling, quadrupling, more than that, in how its valuation. Doesn't mean it's actually worth that, but it's just what it starts going for. Like I said, we click on Bar Simpson right now, 7 of them for sale. The low end is what? Take a guess.
200.
Low end.
Low end. $99.99.
Low end currently is $75.
That's the first thing I thought.
The high end is 129 euros, plus 25 euros shipping. So a grand total of 171 is where that's going at right now. This is a 1200 were pressed up silver vinyl. And this is a record store day first. I mean, this will end up getting us another release, probably on black vinyl, probably within, I think it's probably like a 60-day window from record store day. So it's not like it's going to be impossible to get, just challenging. And of course, this the silver variation will be what's the difficult one to get. But I'm super disappointed. Like I said, this is a fun tradition I've taken a part in for years at this point, and it's always something that, you know, saying, you get in your line, you go get your records. It's a great time. Do you have it all? You chat, you leave, everybody's happy. And it was just like, nope. and I'm not saying that's Tay-Tay's fault.
Okay.
What I do see is resellers are really fucking with the game this go around, and I don't particularly enjoy that, you know.
Yeah, I kind of feel like resellers are just like sticking their beak in every single
Collector's market.
everything. Yeah, collector's market. Like it's like a lot of like I am looking forward to later on this year. I think in July they're doing a Mr. Fix-It Hulk again.
Yeah.
But like I remember one day I was at Walmart and I called lunch and they had like all 6 figures to build this figure.
Yeah.
And I was like, should I buy it? He was like, well, we weighed out the options on the phone, and then I didn't buy them because I was pretty much asking him how rare is it to be able to get them all in one shot.
Yeah.
I think it would have been like to buy them all.
What's that?
It would have been like $120 or something like that.
Yeah.
But all I really wanted, I wanted probably one of the figures, and I wanted the Mr. Fix-It.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not Mr. Fix-It, Joe Fix-It.
Yeah.
But
Gray
they're
Hulk.
doing the Joe Fix-It. Yeah, Gray Hulk. Wearing the suit. So they're going to be releasing one of those in July. But if you don't be getting those some of those figures, it'll just be ridiculous right out the gate.
Yeah, but now I'm mad at Hasbro after this whole Pinkerton situation.
What's Pinkerton?
The Pinkertons. I thought I sent y'all the video. The bad guys from Red Dead Redemption 2. Dead ass they are. They still exist. That company still exists.
Okay.
Were sent to a guy's house who bought from a store Magic the Gathering cards, but because of the I guess a factory fuck up, cards that aren't supposed to be released for 2 weeks showed up at his house. Yeah, that's nice.
This person has it for $45.
Oh, there you go.
But that's the built one, right?
Yeah.
Joe Fix-It Build-A-Figure, complete Marvel Legends.
Yeah. But they're in July they're coming out with one that you don't gotta build, which is crazy because I think so. This King Shark right here.
Yeah.
So they had a Build-A-Figure like this, and if you notice, this bad boy come apart real easy. This ain't nothing but the fucking Build-A-Figure. They just put it in the box. So they might be doing the same thing with that Joe Fix-It.
Yeah.
But yeah, this bad boy it comes apart really easily. It's really really heavy though.
Yeah. It looked like you got some heft to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I said, they rode up on dude's house because he bought cars legally from a store. Pulled guns on his shit and it was based on my Will, you know what I'm saying? Will call one size on you and shit. It's like, bruh, I didn't commit a crime here. So now I'm like, damn, do I really want to be so part in Hasbro? Because that's shitty.
That is shitty. I didn't even know Pinkertons were real. I just thought that was on Red Dead Redemption. That's what I was like.
Yeah, Pinkertons, the OGs, man. They used to always be the Union Busters. Actually, in fact, they still do union busting to this day. So when companies don't want somebody starting a union, they do send Pinkertons in. So that is a thing that company still does to this day. Nice old school villain. But yeah, man, the collector market, the collecting game is also so apparently well, I guess even now it's happening, but people think it's going to be even further here shortly. That DS and 3DS games are about to shoot through the ceiling with their price valuations, and I'm just like, bro, just let people have shit at I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's just been like these last couple of years because like Sega games were dirt cheap just a couple years ago. But then when I bought a Sega, I was looking for Maximum Carnage. It's like $50 for a cartridge. And then you can still find some cheap ones. Like I was looking for one of my favorite games growing up was Tough Man Contest on Sega. And like you look on eBay, it's like wild variance on how much you can pay for it.
Yeah.
But I think I found the copy for like at the record exchange for like $8.
Okay.
Probably less than that. But online it was much more.
I want to get down to Secret Castle Games down in Kentucky at some point because they have so much stuff that I just want to see what they working with, you know what I'm saying? And in general, see what I can come on in the realm of Atari Lynx and TurboGrafx stuff, because that's kind of some stuff I've been looking for that I want to have in my particular collection. So
how far is that from Bucky's?
I don't know. Is there a Bucky's in Kentucky?
There's one. It was the one I stopped at on the way back from Atlanta,
so
or to Atlanta.
All right, Secret Castle games. Let's get
Do you
direction.
take a shower at Bucky's lunch?
Probably. I don't know. I went to the bathroom, but I didn't really
How much?
peruse it. You know.
Yeah,
I'm sure you wasn't looking for lot lizards. You was just trying to take a pee pee.
Yeah, Secret. It's wild
Or leave a
close.
pee-pee.
It's wild close to Indiana. Now, what I'm going to do is reverse this, and I'm going to put Bucky's. B-U-C. What is it? Bucky's. I'm trying to remember. Okay, Bucky's.
I think it's like BUCCEE''S.
You are correct. And they are across the state from one another, 3 hours, 21 minutes apart.
No.
So a wide swath of distance between Secret Castle toys and games and Bucky's.
It's funny how like some states, like it don't take no time to get across them, but then it's like, well, this part of this state is 6 hours from this part of this state.
I remember driving to Harrison, Pennsylvania, which is the capital of Pennsylvania, and it's basically just on the other side of the state. It just is. And that drive is fucking forever. Pennsylvania is a wide ass state. And when you just,
it takes like 9 hours to get to Philadelphia from here.
Yeah, when you just cut across this shit, it's like, Jesus Christ, bro, you just be rolling.
And it's just like trees and hills forever.
Yep.
And them hills is a mother too.
Yeah. So I don't get down with the get down like that. But I guess I should probably, do you a proper show starter. Let me get to it, y'all. Thanks for letting me bitch and moan about the collecting records and the challenge that there is. I probably could have saved that for my actual portion of the show, but sometimes you got to just start talking, people.
You just got to get it wet sometime.
Watch as I combine all the juice from the mind. Heal up, wheel up, bring it back, come rewind. Powerful impact from the cannon, not bragging. Trying to read my mind, just imagine. Vocab you, Larry's necessary. When digging into my library. Oh my gosh, eating Ito stew like the one Pete Tatosh. Now, all over the track, man. Pardon me, as I come back. As I did it, Joe, I had to beg your pardon. When I travel through the town, I roll with the squadron. Rawr, like a dungeon dragon. Change your little drawers cause your pants is sagging. Try to step this way, I will twist you in a turban and have you smelling ripe like some old stale urine. Chickadee charcoal, the chocolate chicken, the rear cock diesel, but cheeks they were kicking. Yo, bust it out before the buster bust another round. The ribbon is in sync. The rhymes is on time. Ripping up the sound just like Horatio. Observe the force and check out the scenario. Here we come, yo. Here we come, yo. So what? So what's the scenario? Hello, welcome to it. It stays crunchy and milk. Episode 492 of Cleveland's longest running podcast. And none of us are men called death. I'm your host, Taylor 713. Join us always one of my best friends. It's Anthony Animal Thug Tatum, aka Big Anthony.
Thank you. And this Big Anthony thing is really taking off. Taking off at home. Like especially when we want to know the difference between who's being called in the house.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
I love how that at first was shot down, was like, you call him Dada. And now,
yeah, but I mean, right away I was cool with it. I just thought it sounded so funny.
Oh my goodness. And of course the big homie Lunchbox 2099.
Running in and out of my life has got me so confused. You gotta make the sacrifice. Somebody's got to choose. We can make it if we try. For the sake of you and I, together we can make it right.
Like what classic track was that? What should it sound like?
This is In Vogue, Don't Let Go. What's it gonna be? Cause I can't pretend. No,
no.
don't you wanna be more than friends? Hold me tight and don't let go.
Don't let go.
You had the right to lose control. Don't let go.
Lose control. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That was from the what's the name of that Set It Off
Is that Set
soundtrack,
It Off?
right?
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, people, it's remotes.
I remember seeing it on the box back in the day.
Nice. And remote means, you know, saying some news stories and us sharing our lives with you, some of the assholes, catch up on what we've been enjoying this week in the realm of entertainment, and we head on out the gate. We have a very formalized show at this point. It works relatively well. I'm very happy with what we do. But it also means you got to like us as people to give a fuck about, you know, a good little chunk of this show. Because if you don't like us, you really don't want to be hanging around listening to us talk about our lives. But if you do, you really get a good meal. First story. It's from the good people not good people no more. They fired their whole news division. Fuck them for that. But this is from BuzzFeed. Ross Yoder, BuzzFeed staff writer, is on this one. Let me pose you a question. People drag this chef for her viral take on the seasoning police of social media, and there is a lot to unpack here. If you've ever scrolled through cooking videos on TikTok or Instagram, you've likely read your fair share of comments from users who have a bone to pick with the seasonings involved in these social media concoctions, or as these comments often suggest, a lack thereof. Zoe Barrett, a professionally trained chef and food content creator with a background in fine dining, is intimately familiar with these types of comment. But recently, the creator found herself in the middle of a particularly heated discussion turned internet event about those who post these types of comments, and it ultimately stirred up a lot more than just strong feelings about salt and spices. It all started when Zoe posted a TikTok chronicling her experience of putting together a meal made out of whatever she could find in her brother's nearly empty kitchen while visiting him. The results? Chicken braised in a garlicly peppered tomato sauce with a quick beer bread. The video quickly racked up over 2 million views and over 1,000 comments. But many of those comments focused solely on the perceived seasonings with the dish. Though she clarified in the comments that she did season throughout the cooking process with salt, it did little to stop the negative comments from rolling in. I'm going to read you a few of the comments they have listed here. No salt or pepper fleck? Not even salt? You should be arrested. Girl, you screaming Northerner by using only salt as seasoning. Tony's or slap your mama should be a staple in every household. Why are these comments so desperate to find things you did wrong? LMFAOOO. Zoe responds, I filmed in a sort of a haphazard manner and only recorded what was necessary. She later told BuzzFeed, it always feels a bit redundant to record up to 10 clips of myself adding salt, so I only include a small snippet where I added salt to my sauce. After Zoe directly engaged with several of the negative commenters, it was clear to her that there was a general misunderstanding regarding the term seasoning, specifically the power that salt can hold. So she made a response video in an effort to discuss that salt and acid are necessary for all foods and that fresh aromatics can be used to flavor food too. In the video, she pulls out various dried herbs and spices, a large container of garlic powder, onion powder, a bottle of dried rosemary, and a spice rub, and reminds viewers that these dried flavorings come from once fresh ingredients. In this case, the exact same fresh ingredient she added to the sauce from her previous video, which she recalls through a black and white clip. What is so funny to me is if I had just doused my chicken in this spice rub and the rub alone, the seasoning police would be out of my comments, she said to the camera. The comment on her response to the seasoning police are what first turned things contentious. At a glance, many of the nearly 9,000 comments appear to support Zoe's take. People going through here, whatever. Here, I'll read you this one. The people who cry about seasonings are the same people who put the same 5 ingredients on everything. Everything that they eat tastes the same. That's one of several comments that they have here. But you don't have to scroll long before you encounter some serious pushback. Other commenters insinuated that the seasoning police in this instance was a euphemism, and the discourse continued to spark opposition beyond the comment section and platform itself. One comment says, "Watch your tone with that seasoning police."
Oh.
Another person says, "I feel like seasoning police is code for something else." The lady responded, "It literally means anyone who trolls the comments on TikTok. I'm not even saying don't use dry powder. I'm saying it's okay to use fresh." That was her comment to that, her response to that. As the video made the rounds on Twitter, users called out Zoe for her choice of words. This person says, this I'll be feeling too. But then somebody responds to them and says, "This smells racial. The seasoning police," you know what she wanted to say.
Just call them niggas. Just call them niggas.
Back on TikTok, several users shared their own takes on the video, often citing perceived racial undertones in Zoe's word choice and delivery. Fellow creator Shayla Marie saw her stitch on this video on the topic garner over 100,000 views. "I saw the video on Twitter, and I just found it so interesting," she says. "Who's the seasoning police, bae?" Says the quiet say the quiet part out loud. She goes on to say that she sees white folks' inability to be the authority on something as the impetus behind the video, and even pulls out one particular thread of comments on Zoe's video to illustrate a point. So I'll read through these comments. First one, "Between the seasoning police and the glove police, Food Talk has some of the most annoying commenters." Some response, 100%. But then the award for second most annoying commenters goes to anti-vaxxers. Person responds to that, "Don't forget about the wash your chicken police." There's somebody's response to that. "Or the well done steak police." These commenters call out the glove police, whose comments when people prepare food without gloves, the wash your chicken police, and the well done steak police. Shayla smiles knowingly as she asks the question, who are those people? In the latest plot twist in the story, Twitter has now become rife with alt-right users taking seasoning police out of the original context, using the phrase as code, along with memeing screenshots from the original video, so that they can effectively tweet appalling racist sentiments without getting banned. I won't platform these people any further by providing y'all with links, but trust me, the stuff's out there and it's disgusting. According to Zoe, the discourse around her response came as a shock. When asked about the backlash surrounding her video, specifically those who called out racist undertones or coded language in her response, she explained to BuzzFeed that she was only speaking to internet trolls and internet trolls only, and never intended the video to come across as a demonization of dried herbs and spices, cultural practices, or specific races. My intentions were to share what I learned in cookie school when it came to the term seasoning, and nothing more than that. She clarified, "I mean, I wouldn't have a Costco-sized bottle of garlic powder if I was anti-dried spices." She went on to explain that she didn't mean to suggest that granulated spices or aromatics were at all bad. "I just wanted to say that fresh aromatics also serve a purpose when it comes to flavoring dishes," she added. "And at the end of the day, salt and acid actually hold the most power in all cooking." On the subject of intentions, the catalyst Zoe cites for filming the video in the first place, the "where's the seasoning" comment that broke the camel's back, so to speak, is one that appears to be a common nuisance for other creators in the food space. A quick search for seasoning police on TikTok pulls in countless stitches and reactions to this particular controversy, but also unearths several instances in which other creators aired qualms similar to Zoe's. One of the first results is a 2021 video from Craw King replying to a comment that read, "He lost you with simple salt and pepper." The creator, who currently has over 3 million followers, films a response to the commenter from his car, once even accidentally honking his horn in frustration. "The problem with this comment right here is proof that TikTok has a lot of people screwed up," he says. "Y'all need to stop that bullshit. Season your food the way the way you know you're gonna enjoy it." The only caption on this video is the hashtag seasoning police, and of the 931 comments currently posted, the vast majority are in agreement with his response. It's worth noting that the types of comments referenced in Zoe's TikTok and the video referenced above are commonly found on content featuring cultural dishes as proper seasoning, looking different just about everywhere in the world. One supporter in Zoe's comment argued that many Asian cuisines rarely use dried spices and powders, and they often incorporate salt through the addition of ingredients like soy sauce, fish sauce, and dipping sauces when served, as evidenced by this video of Hmong-style crispy pork belly, that popped up on my feed just this morning. Traditionally, the cooked pork is dipped into a mega flavorful pepper sauce when it's served, as shown in the first 5 seconds of the video. As a result, the meat itself is minimally seasoned with only salt. And these were the most prevalent kinds of comments on the video. Bro, start seasoning your food. No sazon, ajo, or oregano? Looks good, but needs more than salt. WTF. The one-size-fits-all ideal of proper cooking is worrisome to Zoe, who makes it a point to let the types of dishes she cooks inform the flavor she adds. I'm part Hispanic. My mom is Mexican. My grandma used an abundance of chilies, garlic, and onions in her cooking, Zoe said. What I've learned from cooking foods from all cultures is that I'm going to add flavors depending on the dish. If I'm making a French-inspired dish, I'm not always going to add the chilies that are used in Mexican cooking. It's so case by case that cooking is never one spice fits all. Ultimately, it appears that Zoe stands by the sentiments in her video and hopes that it helped to spread the message that there isn't and shouldn't be one singular best approach to cooking. At the time this post was being written, she hadn't posted any sort of formal response to the controversy, only an entry in her Sunday Feast series where she intentionally films every single moment salt is added. Based on the comments, it appears to be a nod to the entire situation. Laughing at the intentional videos of every salt addition, looks divine, go off. What's your take on this seasoning police controversy? Drop your thoughts below in the comments.
That was a journey. It's funny because like most food I cook, I do like use the base of like salt, pepper, onion, and garlic for the most part. Now, if it's going to be something else, maybe if I'm going over more, say if I'm making chicken. Let's say chicken 3 different ways. So the base would be like salt, pepper. Less on the pepper because Anthony is always like, "Oh, that's spicy." But so like salt, granulated garlic, onion powder, paprika for color, smoked paprika to be clear, base. So then if I'm making like chicken for tacos, I'll put maybe some extra smoked paprika and add cumin. If I'm doing like some chicken cutlets, I'll add the oregano and some thyme, maybe a little bit of rosemary. If it's just like I'm making fried chicken, I'll probably leave it at that. I wouldn't really add too much more to it. So having a base level of spices, ain't nothing wrong with it. But I mean, everybody's different, man. But you putting that spice police. Yeah. That was some extra flavor on that bad boy.
It's funny to me because I mean, I get the internet just want to call everything. It's like, it's funny to me. I definitely don't believe she came off with the intention of making a racialized comment. But now, of course, it's been picked up by motherfuckers who do make it a racialized comment. So then it just be like, "Oh, bitch, did you do that?" And she gonna catch the blame for some shit she didn't do with any kind of intention. Because
most things start out as something else, but then racist people, or I mean, not even racist people turn things into add that flavor on it. Like I was listening to a podcast where they had the origin of Let's Go Brandon, which at first they were yelling out fuck Joe Biden. It's like, and the person on TV was like, "Oh, I think they're saying Let's Go Brandon." I didn't know that's how it started.
Oh my god, that is wild goofy. I didn't know that either. But I just I mean, So I guess that what it comes down to is as a person who's had you know what I'm saying who's had a video get some traction. It do be full of motherfuckers just wanting to start some shit, and you have to realize that the internet is just a tiny piece of the world, and truly it don't matter for shit. So it's like, spice your food how you gonna spice your damn food? Season it as you will, and worry not about nothing else. The internet ain't looking at you cook unless you invite them to look at you cook. So it is simply not worth your while to get into to engage in, you know, basically internet fisticuffs over some, like, bitch, fuck you. I know what I'm doing. Especially because this is a professional chef at plus woman of color. So it's like already, it's like, what we doing here, people? like we teammates here. Y'all gotta chill. You gotta chill. So I find that to be just wildly amusing. And of course, like I said, they pulled the example of this gorgeous fried pork belly. Here, you know what? I will share the screen so y'all can see that, because it's like, it just looks. I don't eat swine, but that shit is so pretty. But like, look how, I mean, that's gorgeous, and it's seasoned in a different way. They're just not people who ain't making Hmong style crispy, you know, pork belly ain't hip to how it's to be. Like, how you gonna be talking about why don't you put no salt and pepper on that? Because motherfucker, it don't call for salt and pepper. This dish don't ask for that.
My thing is, and I think we spoke about this before, like, do a dry run. Like, I mean, it's always going to be about your taste, but like, usually when you never know, like, when you're making a recipe, follow the recipe the first time, and if you want to add whatever you want to add, either do it that time or try the next time so you can tweak it to make it your own.
Yeah. That was upsetting. Box, any commentary on the seasoning of food, sir? As a person who I know seasons their food quite well.
It's just a trial and error thing. I mean, like, especially when it comes to meat, like, some cuts are different than others, so, like, it's not an exact science, you know?
Exactly. It is jazz. And sometimes you got to get a little artistic with it.
Yeah, get a little ski bop.
This particular story came to me via the old SKiM Podfather, who emailed to me and thought we'd get a kick out of it. And so it is ranking 12 Oreo flavors from worst to best. And how mad will I be by the end of it?
We'll see. I mean, I kind of feel like no matter what, I kind of feel like in any list I've read lately in the past couple years, they made that shit just to fuck with just me, because I'm like, man, this don't make no goddamn sense. It don't.
Quit aiming at my heart, motherfuckers. This is from thedailymeal.com.
Hold on. Before they do it, do you guys want to vote on which ones you think that they made the best?
I hope it's peanut butter pie.
Well, of course, I cannot vote because, of course, you know what I'm saying, I have the article in front of me, and so I know the deal.
I think they're going to be cheeky, and they're going to make original Oreos or double stuff #1.
Let us begin. It's by Carl Terzigny. 1912 was a year the grocery stores would never be the same, because that was when the first package of Oreo cookies appeared. Riffing off the original chocolate and cream sandwich cookie from 1908, Hydrox biscuits, Oreos have been satisfying our sweet tooth with their chocolatey exterior and cream filling ever since. Pause. Or actually, a good place to pause. WJK, you know who you are. I finally got your Oreos shipped out this very day as we record this. And I know it was wildly late. And so to make up for it as a bit of a make good, I also talked you in a pack of the black cake Oreos, which was the most recent new flavor Oreos. So basically, you're getting two different flavors of Oreos sent to you. And while I'm at the post office checking out, the postal employee there, who is just sweet as pie, was like, I love Oreos, but you know what I don't like? The cream filling. I always just scrape it out and eat the cookies. And I was like, I was really taken aback by the situation. I was like, that is wild to me, because most people I feel come to Oreos for the cream filling, except for you. She says she can't fuck with thins because she don't like the cracker nature of the cookie. And I'm like, on this point, we agree. But I thought it was funny and fun that I met a fellow Oreo connoisseur, but of a different ilk than I, you know? Let's see, where did I leave off at? Show you. While classic Oreo certainly falls under the category of if it's not broke, don't fix it, Nabisco has tried to reinvent the wheel by introducing an array of flavors over the years. Some of the unique Oreo flavors have been hits, but there have also been some misfires. Some truly wild Oreo flavors have been created in the cookie's history, and fans have been quick to tell the internet what they think about them. Today, we're selecting some of the most talked about flavors and ranking them. The next time you are in the grocery store and you want to throw a package of Oreos in your shopping cart, keep in mind which flavors are hits and which are total misses. This immediately tells, like, this number 12 immediately tells me why why the old Podfather sent me this list. At number 12, Swedish Fish Oreo. Over the years, Nabisco has gone far above and beyond Oreo's original iteration to introduce all kinds of flavors to the market. Some have gone on to become fan favorites, while others did little more than cause an awful lot of head scratching. One of the most eyebrow-raising flavors appeared in 2016 when the company launched a limited edition Swedish Fish flavored Oreo. The cherry flavored cream stopped right there. What is the flavor of Swedish Fish?
Cherry?
No. Box? Yes, I want you to
It's
consider.
like,
Raspberry.
it's like a licoricey snozberry.
Snozberry.
The flavor of Swedish Fish, and as soon as I say it, y'all gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense." Is of course lingonberry.
Lingonberry, yeah. I was gonna say that shit because they fucking Swedish.
Yes, exactly. So already wrong, but I'll go from there anyway. Jeff, so and so talking about cherry. No, it's not. Anyway, I'm going to correct them. The lingonberry flavored cream was sandwiched between two chocolate cookies, and it certainly sent the internet into a bit of a tizzy. Sure, Swedish Fish by themselves can be a tasty candy that many people seem to enjoy, but do they pair with Oreo's distinct chocolatey flavor? As one Redditor noted, a love of Swedish Fish does not mean their flavor will still be enjoyable when combined with an Oreo cookie. They even stated, my tongue was rubbing my teeth and the inside of my mouth for 2 hours trying to scrub away that flavor. Thrillist writer Lee Breslauer was not a fan either, sharing that right away upon opening the package, it smelled like I accidentally spilled a bottle of cherry Benadryl on my kitchen counter. Needless to say, Swedish Fish flavor Oreo phenomenon did not last long, but it certainly created a lot of buzz. As you might know from this very show in our Oreo ranking days, Swedish Fish Oreo walked away with a 5 out of 5 because it did exactly what it came to do. It came to clap his feet. It came to clap his hands and stomp his feet. And that's what's up. So just a awful Oreo when it comes down to it, but it was a damn good Oreo at the same time in that it came and did what it said it was going to do.
Yeah, it was. I know Gabe was super mad about it, but they weren't terrible. They weren't the worst Oreos we had.
No,
They were really bad fresh, but they got better with age.
Boxes stood by that for
7 years now.
Yeah, I'm about to say it is a very long while. Number 11, Mystery. I would personally put the Mystery Oreo at number 12 because they were trash. There have been lots of mystery flavors in the past. A lot of our favorite sweets, from Dum Dum lollipops and jelly beans and even Peeps, taking a chance on a single lollipop or one jelly bean out of the package seems pretty innocuous and low stakes. But it is a different ballgame entirely when you are dealing with the entire package of Oreo cookies. When the mystery flavor first appeared on store shelves in 2017, the race was to guess what the actual flavor was, with suggestions including Fruit Loops or lemon. Nabisco finally revealed the mystery flavor was in fact Fruity Pebbles. It turns out it was not all that much of a mystery, as many fans accurately guessed the flavor ahead of its reveal. Unfortunately, some mysteries are better left unsolved, as many also took the internet to voice their displeasure with the flavor. One Redditor noted it was so bad, I spit mine out in front of a dozen coworkers. That they did go on to clarify that they are not fans of Fruity Pebbles in the first place, which we could imagine is an important prerequisite to enjoying this particular Oreo flavor. Now, if you know, you know. And trust me when I tell you, I know. Years before that mystery flavor, they had a fruity, crisp, golden Oreo. Basically, they put Fruity Pebbles in golden Oreos, and it's fucking fantastic. To me, a top 5 Oreo. And so when they came back with some honest bullshit, it was like, let me put some actual Fruity Pebbles, kind of extra perfumed on top of it, but I'm going to put them with chocolate cookies. Ruination. It was terrible. One of the worst Oreos I've ever had. This would be number 12 if were making a 12-point list. It was trash. Y'all have any opinion on the mystery ones?
The mystery ones, yeah, I remember us guessing them back in the day.
Yeah.
They weren't terrible, but they weren't great.
All right. Number 10. Lemon. Some citrus fruit flavors go naturally with sweeter flavors like vanilla, and even some flavors like orange have been known to pair quite well with chocolate and other candies. But it's definitely quite a risk to launch an entire product line of Oreo cookies with a lemon-flavored cream. After all, lemon does pair nicely with the other flavors, but more in the neighborhood of other fruits like blueberries. Things can get a little dicey when you introduce a flavor as bold and unmistakably sweet as an Oreo cookie. There does seem to be an audience on Reddit that actually enjoys the lemon-flavored Oreos, but the cookie also has some of the loudest critics. One Redditor called them nearly a flavor abomination, and opined that when the apocalypse comes, there will be fire, brimstone, rancid lava, and the milk that comes from lemon Oreos. God damn.
This is what I don't understand about takes like this. Like, you first of all, you spent your hard-earned money on these cookies. Then you took a bite of it. Like, that's not for me. that should be it. Why do you need to write a whole, I don't know. That shit don't make no sense. If I don't like something, I'm like, hey, boys, I don't like this. Y'all want this?
This one finishes up. There's an Oreo flavor out there for everyone, but it seems like reactions to the lemon variety are truly as black and white as classic Oreo cookies. Number 9, reduced fat Oreo. In an apparent effort to remain relevant in the midst of a growing health movement in the food industry, Nabisco introduced reduced fat Oreo variety. Fans seemed to catch on pretty quickly that this version was almost identical to the original Oreo, but with less filling. As one Redditor pointed out, might as well put the thin Oreos at this point. All in all, the reduced fat Oreos misses the mark simply because they did not offer any true health benefit to customers, which begs the question, why bother? Fujicate rated the reduced fat Oreos a disappointing C-, and not just for their flavor. Despite being a reduced fat snack, the cookies were still a processed food item that contained a significant amount of added sugars. Long story short, most Oreo fans are very aware of the fact that they are not eating the nutritional equivalent of, say, a head of broccoli when they eat Oreo. While the effort to come with a reduced fat variety is understandable, it was probably not at all necessary. Number 8, Oreo Thins. Amidst a string of wild flavors being launched by the Oreos in the 2010s, one variety stood out that actually had no change in flavor to the original, but still took the cookie world by storm. Oreo Thins. Rather than change the flavor, the company instead decided to change the structure of the cookie, quite literally stripping the 2 cookies and cream center down to a thinner, crispier version. The thin version has 35 calories per cookie versus the original's 53. Finally, a healthier version of Oreo that still tasted as good as the original. Fans took to Reddit to show their report for Oreo Thins, with many claiming that they prefer the cookie-to-cream ratio of the Thins more. Oreo Thins seem to give fans the cookie itself the opposite of the other fan favorite double stuff. Less cream filling. But be careful. The low calorie count may lead you to eat an entire sleeve without a second thought. Number 7, chocolate cream. Oreos have a uniquely chocolatey flavor that is hard to replicate. It's not quite what you would find in a milk chocolate bar or the chips in the chocolate chip cookie, but there is no question that chocolate fans cannot get enough Oreos in their life. So Nabisco wisely decided to give them what they want, more chocolate. Say hello to every chocolate lover's dream, the chocolate cream Oreo. If you are not wild for all things chocolate, then you may find the chocolate cream Oreo to be a bit too much. But if you like going all out with chocolate snacks, this one will be a home run. Or if you're an influencer, echoes the sentiment noting that we are chocolate lovers, so Oreo chocolate cream cookies are our favorite. Another review said, it's best. I cannot imagine my life without these. Said it best, forgive me. Chocolate cookies with chocolate cream filling might be a bit too one note for some, but no one is complaining when chocolate is their favorite flavor in the first place. So there have been, of course, there's chocolate cream, but they also made, like I said, the ones I just sent out, black cake, which is a dark chocolate cake. They had a chocolate cake Oreo. They have dark chocolate Oreos. You know what I'm saying? We tried those too. It's like it's been all sorts of Oreos that are chocolate filled. So can't call.
They have brownie ones. They have brookie.
All right, this is getting long in two, so I'm gonna run down the ones. If you want me to stop and read you the greater detail, I certainly will. Number 6, golden birthday cake. Number 5, Daniel, peanut butter, but not peanut butter pie, just peanut butter.
Mm.
Number 4, golden. Number 3, mint, which is entirely too high up this list. And I don't even mind the mint Oreo, but nah. Also, I'm not buying a pack of mint Oreos. I'll buy a mint Oreo Blizzard, small. Got to get a small. Don't get the big on that one. It's too much. Number 2, oh man, you seriously call this. Number 2, double stuff. And number 1, original. Boo. That shit is so, at that point, what was the point of writing all this?
Nabisco wrote that bullshit.
That shit was whack. If you keep scrolling, there's a list of the best Kit Kats, but we won't get into that. That story will be in your show notes. So you can read the details of the later entries. The best Oreo to me still is the Marshmallow Crispy Oreo. Basically Rice Krispie Treats Oreos, basically what it was. And it still stands as one of the greatest Oreos I've ever had in my life. The worst probably is that mystery flavor, but that I don't think I liked the cherry Coke one very much. Did what it was supposed to do, but I didn't enjoy it. So I think that would be probably in my bottom tier. What from our Oreo past do you guys recall as one of your tops and one of your bottoms?
My bottom and the most disappointing Oreo ever to me was the strawberry shortcake ice cream one.
Mm-hmm.
It just tastes too the chemical ness of it was just way too much for me. And it was one of the ones I was looking most forward to because it's one of my favorite ice cream treats. But one of my favorites, of course, is the Fruity Pebble one.
Yeah.
But one of the flavors I went back to the store and bought after I was tasting them was the cinnamon roll one. It was very delicious. Like it was like a cinnamon wafer and the cheesecake filling. Man, that to me for a long time that was like a perfect Oreo for me.
Respect it.
Wasn't there like a soda one?
Yeah, we did a root beer one. Fucking fantastic. It's really a good, like one of the better Oreos we had.
I thought there was like a cherry Cokey one.
Yeah, it did. I talked about cherry Coke one. I was saying to me that was one of the lowest ones on mine.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. I didn't really care for that one, and then peanut butter pie has been my favorite this whole time.
Yeah, we had that with my man Chad. Remember we tried? It was that one, the pina colada thin, and the 4th of July fireworks one. We tried all in one sitting. It's far too much Oreo, people. But yo, that's it in our realm of news. I didn't really give you like any Ohio specific stories this week. My apologies if you came here for that. Don't worry, we'll get back to it sooner than later. For now, first up as always is Tatum. And what's good this week, sir?
Well, a little of this, a little of that. But I was thinking of something the other day when I was washing my hands. And my thought at first was like, man, I love me some chemicals. I just want to wash my hands and like but then I was thinking like you be seeing all these new soaps like, you know, natural, this derived from this derived from that, and this all good. And I was thinking like, do they, because first of all, I was washing the dishes. That's what made me think of it to begin with. I was washing dishes. I was like, I usually use the just a, you know, old school soap, but they're making all these new soaps. And I'm like, man, I got some hot takes this week, and let's see how this goes. And I was thinking that companies are making soaps more natural so they're edible. Because I know for a little bit people were eating Tide Pods. And I'm like, man, I wonder, like, are they making them more natural so when somebody does eat them, it'll be all good? What do you guys think of that?
I think I don't think it's for munching's sake, but I think it is it just natural as you throw quotes around it just sounds better. The reality of it is most soap is made from rendered pig fat. It just is. And so it is already natural. It just got cooked down. And so you probably could have ate it up anyway. Basically just bacon.
All right.
Yeah,
second hot take.
I think it's just a push to be like the new look at us, we're not hurting the environment. Buy our stuff.
But they call that greenwashing.
Greenwashing.
Yeah.
I can dig that.
Yeah.
So, my second hot take was that Judy Blume
for bitches
was the Ice Spice of her generation. Like, I was watching this documentary this week about Judy Blume on Amazon Prime, and like how she was just like, you know, just ahead of her time for writing books for children and adults. Like she had like a whole ass like adult book during her time where she was talking about getting her Stella Groove back in the book, and people was mad about it and took it off the shelves. Like she's had like 4 books like on the banned book list. So,
jeez Louise.
Yeah, Judy Blume was a bad bitch in her time. All right. Hot take number 3. The amount of gym memberships will continue to increase with it being cheaper than getting a BBL. I kind of like, lunch had me thinking the other day, like, man, like, it's so many different TikToks and like so many different people, like that's their thing. Like, man, I work out so I can have a big butt and not I'm all natural. I'm not gonna get surgery. So I think it will continue to increase and continue to be cheaper than getting a BBL. I guess in the long run. I guess like right off the bat it's cheaper than the BBL, but as it goes on, it'll probably cost the same amount. All right, hot take number 4. So Rice Krispies are coming out with a fruity flavor, which is long overdue. 1, 2. When these motherfuckers come out, they better be perfect as long as they took, and they better be better than Fruity Pebbles, because Fruity Pebbles are like been out for a while, but I'm sure Rice Krispies was first. And for them just now, after all these years, to come out with a fruity flavor, it's kind of like, is y'all even trying out here?
You know everything. Kellogg's is they just be holding shit, and they do shit bland for. Well, I mean, you know, basically starting from mashed potatoes. That's basically was the point of it. That's why
I do remember it
so
from Kellogg's.
yeah,
Yes.
everything was meant to be kind of whack and bland from that. So it's like
Anti-masturbatory cereal. So, my last hot take of the night. I learned this just the other day. Once you have hot Krispy Kreme donuts, ain't no going back. Like, they shouldn't even like allow you to have the hot donuts that they so good. And you know, well, like we were like my friend was in town and we went out to dinner with some other guys and like where we went, the new Krispy Kreme that they built is like pretty close to it, and they were talking about how like first off when the hot sign is on and you get a hot donut, it's free. Like you can just walk in there and get one, and then walk back out and not buy anything. Like your itch is like automatically scratched on two levels. You get that bad boy free and you get a hot one. But then like when you just get regular donuts, it's just not the same no more. A cold ass donut ain't hitting.
Do you think they're as good fresh? I'm sorry, reheated as they would be fresh?
Nope. And like reheating it, like I've reheated them before. It's just the total taste is different. Imagine like a fresh ass grilled cheese, but sweet. A grilled cheese without the cheese. I get, man. The taste ain't the same.
The point stands, and it's even made more harder. There is nothing like a fresh Krispy Kreme. Nothing. There's nothing I've had that can match with that shit buck for buck with only a single going gold. So I'm just telling you, just if you see the hotline bling, that can only mean one thing, that you need to carry your ass over to that Krispy Kreme if you close enough to see that light come on. Go get you one fresh from the fat. Change your goddamn life. Change your life. You will be a changed person. And it might not be good. You might not want to do that because that's how much your life will be changed. So that any other time, everything else is just boring. And without, it's insane.
Just do yourself a favor. Get out your car, go get the one, and leave it at that. And keep pushing. Keep pushing. Just get the free one. Don't get free 3 ones. Don't do that. Just get the free one and go on about your business.
Because then you stealing your kids' fucking report cards, trying to, I got A's on this report card. Come on, man.
I got all A's. Look, I work at a factory and we got an A on. We got an A for being the safest.
Hit me with that fresh donut, baby. Come on, one time. Make sure it's chunky. Woo. Good Lord. I don't even like thinking about it because now I'm like, it's
it is it's crazy. I remember a couple weeks back, the hot sign was on and me and the boys stopped in there, but they were doing field donuts. They weren't doing like regular glazed ones. I was disappointed as fuck.
We're like, don't play me like this. How dare you?
How dare you run a business properly?
Or simply don't fill that one at all. Just leave it in.
It's things like that make being a fat man who's trying to lose weight, not pass away from high blood pressure, real sad. When you're just like talking about Krispy Kreme and you're like, yeah, that's something I really should eat. Like I really enjoy Jack Frost donuts, and I live like 2 miles from there, and I'm just like, yeah, can't do it. At least not right now.
Oh.
Yes, I understand that. But how often were you going to? You weren't going to Jack Frost a lot. It was like
I haven't
special
gone there
occasion
myself in years, but it's like I know it's there and I want it. But
did I go this year or did I go late last year? When did I hit up Jack Frost last? It has been within the
last
calendar
time I
year.
had Jack Frost donuts,
but
T bought them. I was at his house. We had guests.
That was like 4 years ago.
It's longer than that. Do the math. Do the knowledge.
It might have been 6 years ago then.
Yeah.
Because we've been out of the pandemic. I always forget, like we Marvel blipped for 3 years, pretty much.
Got snapped out of existence.
Yeah, but like you got to think about it like this. Like the last time I went, I know I got up and got I guess it was June 26th of 2022 is the last time I got Jack Frost. I'm not trying to make Krispy Kreme a habit. It's kind of a good thing that the hot light ain't always on because I would stop every time. But like I said, you getting one every once in a while ain't gonna hurt you. Maybe share half of it with a loved one.
Yeah. That's
You have
what's
to
up,
really
people.
love someone and a lot to do that.
Yeah, yeah. Or don't. And never, ever eat a hot and ready Krispy Kreme donut. Ever.
Yeah, I remember my uncle said, once you go raw, you ain't gonna never want to do nothing else.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is, people. Krispy Kreme donut, the going raw of confections. So you watch yourself.
Going raw Krispy Kreme. Either way, you getting glazed, baby.
Oh my gosh! Anything else on your list here, sir?
No, that was all. That was all from the hot take this week.
Salted good. Box man, what's good in the realm of story time with Lunchbox? How are you, sir, this week?
I think I've had like mostly positive moments. I'm not gonna let my week be drugged down by what I'll consider some bullshit.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. You know, can't control the future. But I had my follow-up doctor's appointment a couple days ago. As of recording this, it would be 3 days ago. And
yeah.
So I got up, you know, showered, drove myself to the doctor. My appointment was at 10 o'clock, and I got there at 9. Well, I got there at 9:35, sat out in the car for a couple minutes, went in at 9:40 because they say to be like, arrive 15 minutes early to check in. And so
yeah,
I walked in there, you know, checked in and everything. And I had to wait in the waiting room for a few minutes, but then the lady who checked me in took me in last time, before did the pre-work before the doctor came in the room, was the same lady who took me in this time. And she pulled that same bullshit where like she took me back to this room, doesn't give me a chance to get settled before she takes my blood pressure, and then asked me the same questions they asked me the last time, because for whatever reason it's like they're always changing systems or something doesn't get entered. I'm like thinking, how many fucking times do I have to answer these same goddamn questions? Like, you guys are the ones prescribing me the medication, and you don't even have it in your fucking computer. What kind of shit is this? But anyway, yeah, I'm like,
facts.
You know, the main blood pressure medication you put me on is not even on your screen. Come on now. Like, I had to tell my doctor what prescription he gave me and what milligram it is.
Jesus.
And it's like, I'm not blaming him necessarily, but it's like,
yeah, because he has staff that is supposed to fill that little bit of data.
But anyway,
you are correct.
So the lady takes me in the room, and I weighed myself before. So I weighed myself on Saturday like I usually do. And it was funny because I remember a couple weeks ago telling everybody how I'd lost like 7 pounds in 1 week, but I didn't trust it because I knew I was dehydrated on the day that Saturday I'd weighed myself. So I assumed that there'd be fluctuations once I put the water back on the following week or whatever. And that turned out to be true because I weighed myself that following Saturday and I gained 2.6 pounds back. So then this past Saturday, I weighed myself like I have been, and I lost the exact same 2.6 pounds I had gained back the previous week. So I was back down. And then 2 days later, I had the doctor's appointment. So I weighed myself that morning after I got out of the shower and everything. And it said I was down another 1.8 pounds. Like, who fucking knows? The shit fluctuates so much depending on if you drank water, you got a shit, whatever. It's like, I was trying to explain this to my buddy the other day that I'm not worried so much necessarily about the number in that moment, but just the fact that the numbers are trending in the right direction. But so I went to the doctor, and an hour later, she's like, "Oh, how much do you weigh?" Because like their scale's still broken, and so I told her. She's like, "Okay, I believe you." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, you knowing my weight?" Yeah, I'm like, I mean, you can't fact check because your shit's broken, and you know, like, what are you gonna do? Like, liar, liar, kick me out of here or something? Like, you know.
Oh, so
Yeah, it's
has
been
it been like
2 months. I lost
2
28
months?
pounds so far.
Because you wear that.
Oh yeah, that.
Fix
Well,
your fucking
they have
scale.
a scale, but one that doesn't go up to my weight.
Yeah.
The one that did go up to my weight is still broken, apparently.
Yeah. Well,
But I mean, by the time I go back,
Get
I'll
your shit
probably
together.
be at a weight where they'll actually
damn,
be able to weigh
like
me if they want.
JoJo dancing.
Because the one that they have goes up to 400, and my follow up appointment I made for I'll get there. So she takes my blood pressure after I've been in the room for like a minute or two, and she like they put the cuff on, and then they don't have like a machine in there to do the reading. It's the old stethoscope on the arm. Let me listen to the shit, and I'll tell you the numbers thing. So
Yeah, using this sphygmometer and so forth. Yeah, just dumb.
So she takes it and she goes, "Oh, it's 158/80. That's kind of high." And I'm like, "Well, at this point now I'm mad." So I'm like, I've been taking this medication. I've been working out. I've been losing weight. All the other times I took my blood pressure at home, granted I haven't taken it at home in like a month now, was like not like that. I'm like, even when I went and had fucking needles jammed in my neck, it wasn't like that, So
Yeah.
I was kind of fucking on tilt. And then she left the room, and then the doctor, took a couple minutes to come in, and it was kind of fucked up because apparently their walls there are kind of like paper thin, and I could hear him in the room next to me talking with someone else about their hemorrhoids. And I was like, "Oh man, that sucks for you."
Like, well, this just seems like a HIPAA violation.
I mean, I don't know who he was talking to because I couldn't see him, but I could definitely hear the conversation. Yeah. But then he comes in, he's like, "Oh, how you doing?" And I was still angry. I'd only been a couple minutes, and I hadn't calmed down, cooled down yet. So I was kind of gruff when he asked me that, even though he didn't do anything. And he goes, "Oh, is it like, Monday's thing or something?" And I'm just like, "No." I'm like, "I'm doing okay." I'm like,
Is he a Garfield? He a Garfield doctor?
well, I mean, like, this is only the
fan?
second time I've seen him in person, so like we don't have like a rapport yet. And so I didn't like. I guess he didn't know how to approach my attitude. And I mean, in his, like I said, in his defense, he didn't deserve it. So I told him, how like well I felt I was doing. Like I told him how I was down almost 30 pounds in 2 months, and how I've been, I joined the gym and I've been working out pretty consistently for the last month and a half, and how like I wasn't taking the anxiety medication that he prescribed me because I didn't feel like I needed it. Like I took it 2 times, and that was 6 weeks ago. Like I haven't touched it since. Yeah. Like so, I told him I'm like I don't feel like I need it. Like it's there, but I'm like I'm not taking it. And then I told him I'm like she came in here and took my blood pressure, and she told me it was 158/80, and I'm like, it hasn't been that high this entire time. I'm like, I'm kind of irritated about that. And he goes, well, you probably were like dealing with some anxiety when you came in here. He goes, I'm like, white coat syndrome. He goes, yeah. I'm like, that's probably true. I'm like, and also she took it like almost immediately after I entered the room. She didn't give me a chance to sit down and get settled or anything. She asked me a couple questions and then just slapped the cuff on me. He goes, well, I'll take it right now then. He goes, you've been here for a while. He's like, let's just retake it. So he goes and he's like, also, our cuffs tend to read kind of high. He goes, they're a little weird like that. But he goes, I'll go grab it off the wall. We'll put it on right now and we'll retake it. So he does it. And then he does the thing with the stethoscope and all that shit. And then he like takes it off and he goes, your blood pressure is great. He goes, it's 132/78. He goes, you're fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, hell yeah. I'm like, that's more like, yeah.
That's right.
So,
that's right. That's fine.
He goes like, I'm actually really impressed. He goes, most people that come in here in your situation that you came in here 2 months ago in, like talk about wanting to change and get better. And he goes, then they come back and they don't do anything. He goes, but like, it seems like you're really committed to doing what you said you were going to do. He goes, down almost 30 pounds. Yeah. Like, you sound like you're in a good place. He goes, from what I can tell, you're doing great. He goes, just keep doing what you're doing. He goes, like, whatever. He goes, like, if you want, come back in 6 months. And I'm just like, how about 3? Like,
yeah.
He goes, well, you can come back as much as you want. I'm thinking, yeah, my insurance will love that. But You know, I was just like, I told him, I'm like, 6 months in the future, maybe, you know, like we might get to that point where like, that's fine. I'm like, but I'm still so fresh into this. I'd like to keep a little bit more of a close watch on things for the time being.
Yeah.
But yeah, he talked about next time I come in doing blood work. So, which I know like we'll need that for work, assuming I still have a job here by then. So like that'll be nice to get that done, taken out of the way, and I won't have to worry about that stuff this fall. And but yeah, I made an appointment for the end of July, so 3 months from now. He's like, you know, by the time I see you again, you might be under 400 pounds. I'm like, well, yeah, probably will be by then, because at the rate I'm going, I definitely could hit that goal to get under 4 by the end of July. But then I left there, went home for a little while, and then I went to my sister's white coat ceremony. So that was a couple hours, and went to dinner with my family. And I don't know, the last couple of days have just basically been I get up, I work, I go to the gym, I come home, I eat dinner, I watch TV, I go to bed. That was the last 3 days, except now instead of going to bed, I'm sitting down here doing this with you guys.
You're a creature of habit, and habit seems to be doing its job right now. So
eventually, I would like to get maybe to the point where like I don't work out in the evenings. I do like I wake up earlier in the day and go before work. But that's a difficult transition to make, especially on nights like this where like we're up past midnight doing this shit. It'd be very difficult for me to wake up at like 6 something in the morning and go work out on a Friday after having done this in the evening, because like that would require me to go to bed earlier than I do now. And with us doing this, that's hard. And I don't know. It's just like I don't want to get to the point where like every weeknight that I'm like I don't have a commitment, that like instead of finding something fun to do or enjoying the evening, relaxing, like I'm working out, which working out is important. And like I need to do it. I just want to maybe get to the point mentally where I'm more willing to do it in the morning, get up early rather than do it in the evening and stay up late. But I don't know if I'll ever get there, because I'm not an early riser, get out of bed, up and at 'em, let's seize the day type of person. And maybe that's part of my problem. And maybe that'll change at some point, but I've never really been that type of person. I'm always like 5 more minutes, and I'm like always sleep until the very last possible second of when I have to get up.
Whereas I have been this last week staying up far too late because of Picard. And we'll go deeper into that in the entertainment section. But man, let me tell you something. Going to bed at 2 and getting up at 6 is terrible. Doing that today is probably going to have some consequences tomorrow, but I'm glad I'm off work tomorrow.
That kind of thing's also really bad too if you're like trying to lose weight, because you lose a lot. Like you don't get the full benefit of your body recovering at night and burning through excess fat. Like they say that like men who don't get the recommended, at minimum, the recommended amount of sleep at night lose like 30% of their fat burning benefits from working out and dieting and everything just from not sleeping.
So what you understand, that's how worth it Picard was.
This is something that like I've discussed with my one buddy that I go to the gym with, because he's just like, well, you got to sacrifice, if you want to get what you want to get and all this, those platitudes that like are meant to motivate people. And then you'll see interviews of people like, I get up at 5 a.m. every day and I blah, 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 blah. But then they never fucking tell you when they go to bed. Like, so it's like, okay, you got up at 5 a.m. Did you go to bed at 7 p.m.? Like, were you up until midnight? Like, when the fuck did you go to sleep? Yeah. I don't give a fuck when you got up. I want to know how fucking long you slept.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Wahlberg, like his whole schedule, like he gets up at like 2:30 and start working out
to make sure he starts getting his exercise. Yeah, man. It's just also, he's a racist who throws rocks at Asian people. So you don't fuck with Mark Wahlberg. Stop.
But I was just using him as an example because he actually did put a schedule out
conversation there. The other day, the person I was talking to exactly cited Mark Wahlberg's schedule, but and I understand, Mark Wahlberg is one person. This is a whole industry of people who are on this, I get up early every day and I do this, but it's always I get up early and then I work out. It's never well, my wife and kids came home and we made dinner as a family. And then my kids were up until 11 p.m. because they wouldn't go to sleep. And one of them had a tummy ache and the sniffles. And then I didn't get to bed until 1. And then I got up at 5 to fucking hit the gym because I'm a soldier, warrior, alpha male god. And it's like, where does real life come in? Like,
So let's use this known racist's workout schedule. His routine is 3:30 to 4 a.m. Wake up, prayers and vitamins, turmeric, vitamin C, and vitamin D. Workout, emails and calls. Between 12 and 6, that's his eating window. Does not eat any time after that. 7:30 p.m. bedtime. So in this case, Mark Wahlberg lets you know when he's hitting the rack, and it's 7:30 p.m. He might as well be a 70-year-old man or a cat. It's a terrible schedule.
well, like
It's not a schedule. It's a schedule that works for him.
Like looking at it from my perspective, from where I'm at right now. If I say I want to get 8 hours of sleep, which is smack dab in the middle of the amount of recommended for an adult male, they say 7 to 9 hours a night. So say I want to get 8 hours of sleep, but I also want to get up at 5 a.m. That means I got to be in bed and asleep at 9 p.m. I don't get off work until 6 p.m. So that means I have 3 hours in the evening to have a fucking life.
To live. Yeah. Nah. It's outlandish. It's outlandish. But also, there's been some studies, and I'm not saying these are all locked down or whatever, but there's been some stuff basically been like, look, the notion of 8 glasses of water and 8 hours of sleep may not be one size fits all. And so, for some people, they might, need a little more or a little less of them in general. So, people been like said, all these things have been things that it goes back to the seasoning. You got to do what's best for you, and you understand your body better than anybody else. I know I'm very sleepy right now, but again, I also know that I went to bed like 2:00 this morning watching Picard. That's on me. I chose that route. Hope did that. So hopefully you don't. Unless you really love Picard. As it turns out, god damn, that show's good. Anyway.
if I get over 8 hours of sleep, if I sleep too long, I don't feel good. And my back hurts really bad if I sleep too long.
If I wisely enough pack my children's lunches today. I realize you're saying one of them is a grown man who has a job. Why are you packing his lunch? I love him. I'm going to pack his fucking lunch. Piss off, Ghost. But if I were to pack my kids' lunches tonight, I could theoretically text my son right now and be like, hey, man, you got to go to work late anyway. I don't have work at all. Get up, take your sibling to school. I'm going to sleep in. When it's time for you to go work, let me know. I'll get up and take you to work. I could probably do that. I could probably actually make that happen. But I don't know. It's a process, man. I have a day. And you know what I like to do? I like to get up. I like to make my kids food. I like to get up, brush my goddamn teeth, wipe the cold from my eyes, come downstairs.
See who's this page.
Kind of clean up the house, you know what I'm saying? Just in the dishwasher and so forth. Make the lunches. Clean up after the dog, depending on how her night went. You know what I'm saying? Feed and water her. I have a process. I have and it works most situations. In most situations, I'm not up till 2 a.m. Like I said, I've just been on that shit, and so I get it. And that's just like I said, that's just this particular week. So that's not a normal situation. So I understand what you're saying, Box, in regard to making sure I try to take care of that so that I reap as many benefits as I can from the exercise that I am doing. And so I'm with you on that, and I hear you, and I see you, and I respect the fuck out of you for it. So don't think I'm not following your lead on this one, champ. Anything else before I just steamroll your shit, man? Besides that, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad you're feeling healthier and feeling good about yourself, and that is always the job.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
There is another part. So I haven't liked having my picture taken most of my life. Just because I've never felt comfortable with how I looked, because I've been overweight since I was like 5, and so I didn't really have like a picture that we'll call like the eye opener picture or the worst case scenario picture per se. Like I have one picture that my buddy had taken, and it was from a TikTok video a couple months ago where I was laying on the couch in just basketball shorts and some slippers, and when I saw that picture, I was like, holy shit. It was like one of those ones where you see like on the internet when someone like dies of a heart attack and they're just like, this is what they would look like before they passed. And you're just like, oh, I can see why. And so I had him send me that picture so I could look at it and remind myself of how bad it had gotten. And like I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. I kind of like had him like we recreated it to what I am now, and like I mean it's not much different because like I said I've only lost 28 pounds in 2 months, so it's not like I still have a long way to go. But I just wanted to look to see maybe to compare, and then I didn't have like the whole standing like front face, side profile, back pictures to look at. So we did those. I have those on my phone now as like something to reference as I continue on doing what I'm doing. It's not beat myself up about the situation I'm in anymore, like because that's not healthy. It doesn't do any good. It's not beneficial to what I'm doing. But it's looking at the pictures and realizing like how far I had been does sting a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. But it'll be interesting like 6-12 months from now, whenever I get where I'm going or how far along I am, and look back at the pictures that we're taking now and where I'm then and just compare and it's difficult seeing yourself every day. You don't see the changes right away. Like the clothes start to fit a little differently and you feel a little more energetic or whatever, So those things start to come, but like you don't really fully see the changes unless you have those like time lapse style pictures with those gaps,
Yeah. Yep. Soon, Box will be wearing less and going out more. Y'all get ready.
I don't know if my hotline will be blinging, but we'll see.
I worry not. It's all to the good.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to cut my hair off though. Because that was one of the things about not my beard, but my hair. I'm at the point with my bald spot where I'm just kind of over the coif thing, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go back to like buzz cut.
I don't like your hair when you just get it when you have it cut nicely. That's me. I'm not saying whatever. It's your head.
Part of it is working out and my hair getting sweaty. And I was supposed to have my hair cut last Saturday. I had a fucking appointment with my barber. And if he ever listens to this, I'm putting him on blast right now. But I mean, I don't know if he'll ever listen to the show, so it is what it is. But I had an appointment for Saturday because I wanted to get my hair cut before my doctor's appointment and before I went to my sister's white coat ceremony. So I had a hair appointment 2 days prior, and I wake up like my appointment was supposed to be for 12:45 Saturday afternoon, and I wake up at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and I have a text from them at the barbershop basically telling me that he won't be able to cut my hair because he was having an asthma attack. And, all well and good. I get it. Shit happens. Things come up. People get sick. It is what it is.
Take care of your health. Yeah,
Except,
for sure.
I ended up driving out to Akron to go to the indie wrestling show that same evening. And who should be at the fucking indie wrestling show but my barber and the person that works in the barbershop with him that texted me, telling me he had an asthma attack and couldn't cut my hair. I don't know shit about asthma attacks because I don't have asthma. I don't know if they come, they go, you hit inhaler, you wait a little while, you're good to go. I don't know. But all I know is I wasn't too happy.
Yeah, well, it depends. Like asthma is one of those things because I do have asthma, struggle with it my whole life, where not being able to breathe is a bitch. But like once you hit the you hit your inhaler, like it's one of those things where you can feel terrible for hours and then feel better later on because like just think about it. Your body has been without the food it needs for your brain to survive for minutes or no, I don't know how long his asthma attack was going for, but then like you'll feel really really bad for a while, and then you'll just start feeling better.
This was the other thing about it though too. I told everybody in the group chat, because they put me into an indie wrestlers people that go group chat like a couple years ago. I wrote in the group chat that I was going to the show, like that me and my buddy bought tickets that afternoon. We decided to go last minute, and they knew I was going there. They saw me because like at intermission, like they were like we were up in the bleachers, and they always buy front row because they always take pictures. Like they have like fancy industrial cameras and shit they do photography with.
Yeah.
They saw me at intermission because they were pantomiming to me like, "Oh, hi," and then he was like making weird gestures and shit like we're playing charades. Like I didn't know what the fuck he was trying to say. So like they didn't come say nothing to me.
I'm breathing good, baby.
And then when the show was over, they dipped out without saying anything to me. They fucking skedaddled. Like
they knew they was wrong. They knew they was wrong. Question: you ever considered the only reason I ask this because I happened to come across a TikTok video the other day. Maybe considering starting some hair restoring treatments. You know what I'm saying? Minoxidil works.
I did that for a while, a couple of years ago. The Hims stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm not good at keeping up with it because I didn't care enough, and like I'm kind of like that now, where like it's thinned out so much that like I just don't care anymore. And I like working out, it gets so sweaty that like I just want it gone. It feels more like a hindrance than something that I'm like happy to have at this point. Because like I hate the back of my head, especially when I see the back of my head in pictures. Because like it feels so thin when I touch it, and then when I see it in pictures, there's just nothing there. And so it's just like it's almost like the George Costanza with like a comb over trying to hold on for dear life. And I just don't care anymore.
Fair. Again, I understand that is your process, and so
yeah, like I still want a beard. Like the beard's not going anywhere. Like I do need a beard trim because it's too bushy. It's been over 2 months now since it's been trimmed, but like I just don't care about the top of the hair anymore. Like maybe I'll feel better if the sides and the back were shorter and like the bald spot wasn't as pronounced. But it's just I really just don't care anymore.
Fair enough. That's where Buck's at. My brain just tinged that I do have something to actually talk about. So I guess I will give you a tiny bit of a bit more extra tease life. So right now, if you look at me, I'm kind of shaved. I got a decent, you know what I'm saying, my hair, whatever, taken care of because Monday, Vanessa's friend got married and they had a little something in their backyard. So let's do the math because I'll get you right back to it. Vanessa's friend is now married to Drew's older brother, his adopted brother. So basically, I'm at Drew's parents' house Monday.
Wait, so we're talking about Drew we used to work with?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the brother we met was adopted?
No. His other
so
brother.
there's another brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the oldest brother. That is Billy, and Billy got married to Katie Monday at their city's city hall, and they're going to do a bigger like event wedding next year or sometime or later this year or something like that. But Vanessa met Katie when Billy when they first moved back to Ohio. Well, Billy back to Ohio, Katie to Ohio for the first time, sometime during this pandemic, and they immediately were charmed with each other and have become super tight friends. And so Monday night after work, I'm over there on that side of the world, and I meet up with, of course, our old host Wade whilst I'm there. It's a good time to see him and just sit and chop it up and get just see him because I hadn't seen him in a little bit. I meet Drew's mom for a second time, who utterly does not remember meeting me the first time, but I don't care because I just don't care. And eventually Drew shows up. I guess he takes somebody to the airport. So I saw him and I'm just sitting there kicking it and just like.
Felt like you were in a time warp.
Well, yeah, it's weird to see all these people I hadn't seen in some time. Not necessarily years, but just it's been a little bit since I've seen them last. But also it's just like, it's always like this, and I hate it sometimes. But then today, and then that day in particular, I was like, God damn it, why is it always that I am it? I am the one. I am Matrix. I am Keanu. I am Neo. It is always just me. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with white folk? They just don't make no friends of color. Just none. Just get you 2 more people of color. Pick you out 2. And I'm not, and I know you're not the example because you got a rainbow coalition of motherfuckers that you kick it with. But for most white people do not. We've done the math. We know the stories. We know the history of it. And it shouldn't bother me, but it always bothers me. And it's just like, it's just uncomfortable. I never know if motherfuckers are saying some shit. Was that you being a nice host when you offer me the chicken? Or is that some fuckery when you offer me the chicken? And I hate that feeling. And I hate having to have that feeling, but that's just what it is to be that person. And it's
I think a lot of times too in this situation,
yeah,
most white people didn't grow up like I grew up and like didn't go where I went.
yeah.
So they didn't learn how to communicate to people like that aren't necessarily like them.
Yeah.
So like that's how like we really started talking because some of the ways I talked, and it wasn't like I was putting on an act when I met you guys. It was just part of who I was because I grew up in those environments. So we were able to connect on a more personal level. Whereas someone who has never spent time where I did, they're walking on eggshells sometimes, and rather than like learn to get on the same wavelength as people, they just like do what they got to do, and then they get out and they're like, "Oh my god, oh thank God, I hope I don't have to do that again." They're so much more different than I am. They season their food.
It's just, I don't know, man. It's like I like Katie and Billy just fine. Really good people. Truly good people. I was very, very happy for them, and they seem so happy and so in love and so forth. And I think they're so dope. But it's just like, I don't know, man. It's a stressor that I don't like on my life in general. But at the same time, it's like, but you do know these people, and I'm comfortable around them, and I can always chop it up with them because I can always talk about whatever, you know what I'm saying? Our lines of business. I can talk about video games. I can talk about whatever. Wade just finished, school, so you know what I'm saying. He just got done with his. I
don't think I've seen Drew in like 7 years.
God, that math doesn't seem to be mathing.
Maybe 6. Like, I mean, he was gone for a long time.
It's been a while.
Yeah, that's true.
It's been at least 5. Like if
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure he got let go before I changed departments last.
Yeah,
and I've been in my current department since pre-pandemic by like at least like 4.5 years at this point, I think.
Man,
so man, my guess is 5 years the minimum.
At the minimum, yeah. So. Yeah, that's a wild one. That one is wild. He's still doing the same thing. I think we're all just fine with it. Our jobs, you know what I'm saying? None of us are like celebrating what we do. We're just like, well, we do it. It pays the bills.
Oh yeah. I mean, people are gonna listen to this show or whatever, but like, I'm not in love with my job.
Yeah.
Like, it could be better, but I could also have a worse job. Yeah. Like, would I like to do something else for the rest of my life? Yeah. Do I want to do what I do now for forever? No. Like, in fact, like the way it's coming now, I'm miserable in a roundabout way. Like, I don't like what I'm doing anymore because like what I'm doing now is what I did previously, and that was the reason why I left it to begin with. So now my job has just become what I used to hate, and it's a miserable existence when you don't like the thing you have to do for at least 40 hours a week. So, we'll see what the future holds. I mean, I'm not like I necessarily can afford to like get up and just quit right now. Like, obviously I can't. Like, I'm not well off. Like, I'm like everybody else. I'm a single man with a mortgage, and I need health insurance and shit. So, I'm at the point where I got to do what I got to do for myself, but I also got to suck it up professionally until I win the lottery or meet a rich woman.
But also, you have options. You don't have to stay where you are. You can indeed begin the efforts or the process to find employment elsewhere if you're so inclined.
About that though, like, what are my options necessarily? Because I don't have a college degree. I never finished anything. And so I have what would be considered a working experience degree of sorts. But then I just end up in the same industry doing the same shit that I don't want to be doing now, but just at a different location. So it's like, I've been trying to figure out like if maybe I should go back to school or figure out a different path or something. Like my buddies work in like decision making analytics, and it's something we were talking about recently. Like my one buddy did like a workshop this past summer through CSU. It was like a multi-week course, like a 28-week course or something like that. And he got basically a certificate. It's not a degree. Still, he has to go get a degree still. But he's been working at a business on the east side. I think he just got hired like a couple days ago. And yesterday he wrecked his car.
Oh no!
And then my other buddy got his degree a couple years ago, and he works for a competitor. And like we were talking about, like that might be like a good career path for who I am as a person, the way I approach things. So it's something that's on my mind, like trying to get rid of the thought, like the mental stigma of like like time has passed me by or it's too late or whatever. Like it's kind of the same thought when it comes to weight loss. It's like it'll always be too late if you just tell yourself it's too late and never do anything about it. Like the best time to start was 20 years ago. The second best time is today.
No, for sure.
No.
Fair enough, man. But like I said, that little sprinkling of my week I want to share with y'all and so forth. So there you go. That is that. Let us get to it, because again, I'm sleepy. Each week we head to the subreddit. Well, we head to Reddit in general, but then we dig deeper into the subreddit. Am I the asshole? We were doing it before shit was cool, and if you know, we're also very good at it. I pulled a selection of 3 Am I the assholes this week. Let me double check and make sure that is what I have. That is, yeah, I do. Let me close that one. So I have 3, and they're very, very, very good. I think y'all really gonna fuck with them. Let me read them all for you, and we'll get them started. Am I the asshole for telling my son I was disappointed after he and his wife lied about my grandson's birth date? Am I the asshole for refusing to give my cousin-in-law my Taylor Swift ticket? And then this one is from the Silver Coat Key herself. She texted this to me the other day, and I was like, that is definitely going on the show. Am I the asshole for not wanting my fiance to make a birthday cake for, hold on, let me scroll. Get you the exact title of that one. Because, of course, that one has, of course, been deleted, but they have the original text. And it is, am I the asshole for not wanting my fiance to make a birthday cake for his sister because it's her birthday too? We know. Let's bang. Am I the asshole for telling my son I was disappointed after he and his wife lied about my grandson's birth date? This is one of them ones, y'all. My son, 23, and his wife just had a baby boy. Everyone is overjoyed and excited, but there have been some issues that have arisen recently. When my daughter-in-law was pregnant, I suggested that I host a welcoming party for my grandson right after they get discharged from the hospital. I've made arrangements and even emptied a room for them to stay, but for some reason she was against it and said she'd rather spend the first few weeks at home with her newborn. Not only that, but she said no to the welcoming party. My husband and I talked to my son, and he said, we'll see. But just a couple of days ago, we found out that my daughter-in-law had given birth 2 weeks ago, and no one knew about it. My nephew told me, and I immediately called my son. He confirmed it. He and his wife lied, then hid the date of birth from the family. I told him that was not acceptable. Lying just because they didn't want a welcoming party and love and support being given from family. I told him I was disappointed because, for one, he ruined our welcoming for our grandbaby, and also I invited family members, and they're all rightfully disappointed as well. He said it was his last resort after I kept pushing and made his wife uncomfortable. But that was not appreciated because we were just trying to celebrate the new family member in an appropriate manner, in a proper manner. We had an argument, and he ended the call upon saying I ruined his joy for his newborn. My husband started texting him since he stopped replying to our phone calls, and now is threatening to block my nephew for tattling, But I think that my nephew was decent enough to inform the family. Otherwise, God knows how long my son and his wife were going to hide their son just to keep us at arm's length. We've always been kind and welcoming to my daughter-in-law and her family. I don't know why she would do this and disrespect the family like that. On the other hand, some family members see it as justified action because we insisted on the party. P.S. Some folks, I'd appreciate it if you'd leave my nephew, male 24, out of this conflict because he was not a part of it. Is this person an asshole?
I'm going to say yes.
Because they're an asshole. The fact that you had to think on it was shocking. Shocking.
I don't think it was shocking. I kind of feel like somebody can be an asshole and still be coming from a place of... Sometimes you want shit so bad you forget about the people who it's for. Like, especially with your children. Like, I always give the example of Scooby-Doo. I tried to show my son Scooby-Doo. He didn't really want to fuck with it. But then when he discovered it on his own, he loved it. Now, if I could have kept on pushing it on him, but I never did because it didn't seem like it was something he was interested in at the time. Even though I know he would like it, but I was being an asshole. I would have been an asshole if I'd have just kept on with it.
He's gotta like it, so when he gets older, he can appreciate memes like 2 in the jinkies, 1 in the stinkies.
That's right.
Yeah, is this person an asshole?
Well, sure. I don't really have an analysis for you. Admittedly, listeners blame me, be mad at me, but I was half listening.
It's okay.
I was catching up on 55 minutes worth of draft coverage, so...
There's a very long pink comment that is so long, that is longer than the actual commentary, that I'm simply not going to read it. Basically, they say the person's an asshole. Trust your boy on that. I'm going to scroll down. Here is a couple of short pink comments, and they're more likely to get read. You're the asshole. It's not about you. Also, she was against it and said she'd rather spend the first few weeks at home with her newborn. Not only that, but she said no to our welcoming party. My husband and I talked to my son and he said, we'll see. Mom said no. You went behind her back to her son, which is disrespectful and insensitive to her wishes. And he clearly wasn't on board either. It sounds like they felt pressured into lying about it after you were so insistent on the party. Also, again, he ruined our welcoming of our grandbaby. Wrong. You ruined the welcoming for him and his wife. You should feel horrible for that and for putting them in the position to begin with. One right beneath that in pink is also said, they obviously pushed it so hard that son and daughter-in-law were convinced they would just be there waiting at the house when they got home from the hospital. OP needs to work on respecting boundaries. If she never wants to have a close relationship with her grandson, and if she ever wants to have a close relationship with her grandson, and will have to get used to a lot of disappointment if they continue this asshole behavior. Get your shit right, Granny. Fuck. Next up, am I the asshole for refusing to give my cousin-in-law my Taylor Swift tickets? This one is a burner. 17 female, it's a child, recently got Taylor Swift tickets for her Eras tour. Now, as you probably know, it was very difficult to get these tickets, and I actually waited 5+ hours in Ticketmaster's queue to get them. I've loved Taylor Swift since I was 2 years old. My cousin John, 29 male, recently got married to his wife Jane, 27F, and I attended the wedding with my parents. At the wedding, another cousin of mine asked me whether or not I got tickets, and I excitedly said yes. John overheard, pulled me aside, and asked if there was a chance I'd be willing to give my ticket to his wife, and she also tried to get tickets but didn't manage to get any. I said that I waited a long time to get my ticket and that I didn't want to give it up because, as he knows, I love Taylor Swift and I'm really excited about going to the concert with my friends. He seemed disappointed, but ultimately walked away. I went back to my table, thought nothing of it. Then John and Jane had their first dance, which was to Taylor Swift's Lover. At the end of the dance, he got the microphone and told everyone at the wedding that I had so kindly decided to give Jane my Taylor Swift ticket as a wedding gift.
What?
Jane started crying and said I was the best cousin ever and that I made her wedding day 10 times better. I stood there in shock and I asked if I could speak to her in private, but she brushed me off. I tried to talk to John too, but he ignored me. My whole family kept coming up to me and saying how mature I was for giving my ticket to Jane and how it was the perfect way to welcome her into the family. I told them I never said I'd give her a ticket, and I was planning on keeping it and going with my friends. Like I said, like I had originally planned for me. Word got back to John, and Jane actually started sobbing and saying that I was selfish for not giving her my ticket, and that since I didn't get her a wedding gift, the least I could do is give her my ticket. I want you to understand the poster is 17 years old. They are a child. I stood my ground and said that I don't owe her anything. John then said that I've already seen one of Taylor's concerts before and that Jane hasn't, so it's only fair that I give her my ticket. I said that I understand that it was really frustrating to wait in the queue only to not get tickets, but it wasn't my job to make sure that Jane did that if they were patient. The scalper prices might go down by the show, and she might be able to snag tickets then. John screamed at me to leave and said that I ruined his wedding. Some of my family has been messaging me saying I'm a selfish bitch for ruining Jane's wedding. And I
you calling a 7-year-old
and
a
I should have
bitch?
waited until after the wedding to tell her I wasn't giving her my ticket. Others, including my parents, agreed that I had no obligation to give up my ticket. I hate conflict and part of me wonders whether I should have just let her have the ticket. So am I the asshole?
No. I don't. This is the first time, one of the few times where we've had parents on here actually be the right kind of supportive. Every other parent be like, "You are a bitch, you 17-year-old girl."
Update. Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone for all the kind words and the support I've received. It's been incredible to see so many people stand up for me, and honestly, it means a lot. Now to the update. I listened to you guys and told my parents of the severity of some of the messages I've received from some of the people on that side of the family, and they are pissed. They didn't realize how bad they were until they saw them. And my dad reached out to John and said that he was out of line and that he's disappointed that his own nephew would do something like this to his daughter. My mom told my aunt and uncle that unless I got an apology, their entire branch of the family, which were the main people who were giving me a hard time, would be uninvited to our annual Christmas party we host at our house each year. John didn't really say anything back except that he wouldn't apologize for trying to do right by his wife. Jane, on the other hand, did end up getting tickets for face value. Ticketmaster sent out a way for some fans who didn't get tickets to be able to request 2 tickets to the show they were not able to get tickets for. Jane ended up getting 2 tickets and posted on Facebook with no mention of what happened at the wedding. I'm hoping since Jane got her tickets, she's over it now. John is very stubborn and can't seem to ever admit when he's wrong, so I doubt I can fix that relationship, which honestly makes me sad. I really don't want any bad blood between us. I saw that this has made it over to TikTok, and I've gotten a lot of love and support from there as well. Thanks again, everyone. This has been one of the most difficult situations I've ever found myself in, and I really would have no idea how to navigate this without all y'all. Your cousin is a real piece of fucking shit. You're better without people like that in your life. And if that's how the side of the family is on some fuckery most foul, as it seems like they are, again, you are better without them in your life. Congratulations on getting the ticket to a very tough show to get into. I hope it's the most amazing show that you've ever witnessed. And all the props and love to that poor child for having to deal with that kind of nonsense. No, you're not the asshole. All right, last one, am an asshole for, birthday cake, blah, 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 blah. This one's got deleted, but of course the original post is in the body of the post. So my 36 fiance, 39, I'll call him Dave for the post, can make really good detailed cakes. It's not a business, but something he enjoys doing. We've been together for 3 years. Dave's sister died close to 10 years ago before we met, coincidentally. Me and his sister have the same birthday. Every year, Dave makes an extravagant cake and sings happy birthday to his sister. Sweet baby Jesus. I didn't know it was all this. I want to make it clear. I don't have a problem with this if it was on any other day. The day before, the day after, whenever. but my family always made a big deal of birthdays, and he knows I enjoy celebrating and having my day. I know some people think that you can be too old for birthdays, and that's their opinion, but not mine. So my birthday's next week. I asked Dave if he could do his sister's celebration on a different day. He said no. He's going to make the cake and do the routine he does every year. I said, I get that, but that is my birthday, and I'm actually here right now. And how many more years is he going to continue doing this? He got mad at me and replied that I'm being disrespectful. At that point, I got a bit upset and told him he's not being fair to me. Me and Dave agree on and get along well usually. And this just feels like a bit of a stupid thing to get upset about. But now it's blown up. So, am I the asshole?
This one's tough.
She's the asshole.
Oh, she's the asshole.
I feel like you guys are right. It's just I understand to a degree where she's coming from. That's all.
Now, see, on that point, we agree. I think he should probably actually be making 2 cakes. He should, if his spirit has so directed him to make a cake for his sister who has passed on, then please continue to do that. Celebrate her life and keep a motherfucking moving. But you can also just make your lady a cake too. Nothing to it.
Yeah, I mean, like,
So, but hold on. The their sister can't eat the cake. So, what do they do? Just celebrate and throw it away? What's there to say? Yeah, I don't know.
This is how this man's spirit has directed him. He makes a cake for his sister who has gone on before him, and he sings her happy birthday. That is what he does. But he can also just make his lady a cake and, keep motherfucking moving. Just make 2 cakes. Make her own cake. Make it special for her. Make sure you know what flavor she fucks with and loves and so forth.
But I don't necessarily think it's the cake thing. Like, the cake thing is only part of it.
Yeah.
She wants all the attention to be for her on that day and no mention of the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like, I get you want your day to be special, and like, I guess, like, I wonder to a degree what is involved necessarily with his ritual per se. Because I mean, this one's like I said, I agree with you guys for the most part.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's a little hard to judge the totality without some of the finer details. Because like Anthony, for example, like your partner vehemently refuses to celebrate Christmas and her birthday on the same day because she wants her birthday to be a separate thing. So it's like, this is kind of similar in a way to that. So that's why it's like, it's hard for me to say this person's 100% wrong, but it does feel like a special case situation where like maybe you need to learn to give a little to get a little.
Actually, I fully agree with you in that regard. I feel like it's shitty to be like, don't make your sister a cake. You can't do that to people, man. That's where the asshole part comes in. You being like, don't do what you've done for your sister for years before I ever was even a picture of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no, sir. Like that's unfair to my traditions. You know what I'm saying? His own personal traditions.
I mean, maybe they could figure out a way to support them and, make it something together or something. I don't know.
Leave her.
Hey, I'm saying 2 cakes.
She'll love you.
You know what I'm saying? You can make the one, probably can take it to your parents' house. You can donate it somewhere. You can take it someplace, depending on what a sister passed away of. You know what I'm saying? There might be, some kind of group that would very much appreciate and do their part to help honor the memory of this dude's memory of his sister. You know what I'm saying? And then you could be like, now let's celebrate you. You know what I'm saying? The love of my life and so forth and so on. But also, when it comes down to us, and then I know we say it kind of regularly around here, them two probably shouldn't be together. It's always going to be a situation around a time that should be special to her because it is her special day. But it's always going to be kind of sad to him in his life. You know what I'm saying?
As my brother's birthday was 2 days ago, it ain't never going to be the same. And for her to like throw some funk on that shit. He got somebody that he loves that's never coming back, that he'll never get to talk to again. And you come in with your bullshit, that shit ain't gonna never work. It's never gonna work. You went to the fucking internet to get an answer to something that your heart should have told you to begin with.
Reddit called her an asshole too. Just in case y'all was wondering. And again, the Silver Coquille sent that to me, and let me see if I can find her remarks, because like I said, she sent that directly to me. And her response was, yes, because fucking cunts need to be publicly shamed. So I think she might think she's an asshole too. So I didn't say that, mama. No, I'm quoting people. I don't think you
can't yell at me for quoting.
That was this week's Am
It
I?
wasn't me. I was just reading the song lyrics.
In the realm of entertainment, this week's episode of Ted Lasso made me openly weep twice. The second time, it was bad. It was almost ugly crying. It was so bad. And I love that show so much. And I love that they are really going out with a bang. And I appreciate it, and I will miss them when they're gone, but I will celebrate them while they are present. And I've been coming across a lot, not a lot, but a few times lately, people who are like, I don't fuck with Ted Lasso, and it's saccharine sweetness and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, we are clearly watching two different shows. And also, I feel like you are just hating on some things that you don't like. And it's okay for you not to like it, but you ain't got to shit on it. But again, that's just where I'm at with these situations. Ted Lasso is amazing. I continue to on New Game Plus in hardcore mode, Resident Evil 4. It's just got an update. I need to go make sure I did all the updates. It's got some graphical effects and some controller updates and stuff that I need to make sure I have done. That game's it's great. It's fucking great. As you recall, if you listen regularly, last week my mom had texted me while we were in the midst of recording the show and asked if I had watched the Picard finale. And I was like, I actually am 2 seasons behind on Picard. I didn't watch season 2, and I have not watched any of season 3. That has been rectified. I am now up to episode 5 of season 3 of Picard. I watched all of episode of season 2 of Picard, just 10 whole episodes. It's fucking so good. And again, had your boy up very late a few nights this week as I was going through it. I'm just like, I gotta watch, I gotta know, because they keep ending on the, not necessarily cliffhangers, but they keep ending at a point where I'm like, I need to know. So let's do next one. You know what I'm saying? So that show is so good. If you are like me and my mother, are Next Generation fans, you should be getting down Picard. You should be. Jonathan Frakes, who played number 1 Commander Riker, has been directing movies and other things in the Star Trek universe for years now, and he directs a good many episodes of Picard, and I love his eye as a director for that and for that universe and so forth and so on. It's fantastic. Get you down with Picard. It's over on Paramount Plus Showtime app, and you should be getting down to get down on that. It's amazing. Please do. Anything else? Let me double check my list here. After Record Store Day, me and the kid went to go see the Super Mario Brothers movie. Now, the day before that, me and Vanessa went to go see the Super Mario Brothers movie. But in that theater, again, remember, I told you I've been up late. So I guess maybe since last Friday, I guess I've been staying up, like last Thursday. Last Thursday we did the show. That's why I was up late then. And so I went to bed late that night. So I'm in the theater with Vanessa during the day. Friday. We went to see it at Cinemark in their big theater. And T fell asleep. Not that I didn't enjoy the movie. I had a great time. I was tired and in a comfortable seat next to my lady, snugged up against her. And but I also knew the next day I was going to go see the movie again with my kid. And so I took the lead to go see it. We went to go see it out in Cobblestone out there in Sheffield, I think. You know what I'm saying? It got to get some more time driving on the highway. And that's where I was like, all right, so cool. Let's go drive and see the movie. So went to go see it there where I stayed up and watched the entire movie. Super Mario Brothers movie is a delight. If you're a Nintendo fan, you'll have a lot from it. If you just like cartoons in general, it's a very well done and well animated cartoon. And if you don't fuck with video games or cartoons at all, don't go see that movie. relatively easy situation there. But it's a real fun movie, and I had a great time seeing it. So, also, latest episode of Grand Crew was fantastic. Faye left for New York, and it was very sad, but it was a very fun and funny episode. The B plot was Sherm, our friend Carl Tart, character, had gotten of reservations to a real fancy restaurant that has like a years long waiting list, and he played the game show that he played on last season with his friends to see who would be able to go to get the reservation with him, because it's a 2-person reservation. But then they brought back the character that they brought earlier this season, Ron, and he's like,
Ron. But yeah, he would. This is his third appearance. Because the first time they was gonna get in a fight, and then they fight every time.
Well, now we got the
last
boogie. This is great. You should be watching Grand Crew. I've been saying that now 2 seasons, people. You should be watching Grand Crew. It's such a glorious and fun show, and I really enjoy it. And of course, props to the homeboy Carl Tart for his role as Sherm on that show. He's very, very good at it. And if you fuck with it, there you go. That's where I'm at in the realm of entertainment. I started Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin, which is a book that is actually got brought back together. Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, who wrote the original Ninja Turtle series. It is a graphic novel. I believe it was a 4 or 5 issue run they did, where basically there is one lone turtle, and in a post-apocalyptic world. And I'm like 18% into it. However, that maps out how many pages wise, so I'm not so far into it that I can tell you that whatever. But that is a book that I'm on right now, and I can't wait to get to that and work on that. I'm probably gonna work on that a good deal of that tomorrow, and hopefully I can run through most of that, because again, that's actually, I borrowed that from Libby, and I'm reading it on my iPad.
Oh wow! I will try to get that as well. I know they were saying, I've heard about it. It's like you don't know what turtle it is, because he's the last turtle, has everybody's weapons now, and yes, it sounds really good.
Yeah, I like to see where it ends up going.
Hope it's Donatello.
I thought that, but then there's something that pulled me astray from that. So
I haven't read it, but I heard that someone say that they think it's Michelangelo.
Man, that'd be kind of neat if it was. Whereas in my mind, as I read it, only a little bit I've read so far, nothing has told me this, and there's nothing in the book that tells me. So this is me guessing. I'm of course like, that's got to be Ralph, right? It's got to be Raphael. But we shall see. We shall see where I end up, and I will not tell you unless you want to know. So worry not. And
it always impresses me how New Edition and Ninja Turtles. Every time somebody talk about Mike or Ralph, I think of both of those.
You think of both New Edition and or the Ninja Turtles? Those are the items that come to mind. It all good.
What are you talking about? You talking about Ninja Turtles
or New Edition? Oddly enough, I was talking about both.
Yeah, because either way, I'm down.
But I'm down in very different ways. You know what I'm saying? Might put on a specific type of shoe for one and not the other. You know what I'm saying? That's just all I'm saying. Oh, my goodness gracious. What about y'all guys, man? What have you been watching, reading, listening to, getting down with, so forth?
I am a creature of habit. I'm still playing, I'm doing it George Clooney style still with Red Dead Redemption. I just been walking around, fishing, just playing it real slow, because I know my main man died of tuberculosis in the game. So, I'm taking it slow. I actually started How I Met Your Father today. I know that, that finished up. So I've been watching that. Like I said, I watched the Judy Blume documentary called Judy Blume Forever on Prime. Other than that, same show, same podcast. But unfortunately, Snowfall is over, and Abbott Elementary is done. So, I gotta start watching Dave, but other than that, like it's just been the same stuff.
For me, current on Demons, the new season of Demon Slayer. We watched some other anime on there, but I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. It's like 4 episodes in or so. I watched more Psych. I'm a couple episodes into season 3 now. Yes, it's a rewatch for those who are new here. I've seen all of Psych before. I just found out today that they have a podcast where it's like Lassiter and Maggie Lawson from the show. They do like one of those like they watch the episode together and do like interesting tidbits and commentary or whatever. So I'm probably gonna start listening to that.
Do they do random shows or do it in?
They're doing it in order.
Yeah,
it's the Instagram profile I sent you earlier today.
Yeah, I remember. I was just wondering, did they do it? Because some people they'll do guests, and some people just do it out of order.
I think they said they do it in order, and they're on like season 5 or something now.
Nice.
So there's plenty of backlog there for me to listen to. I went over my dad's house a couple days ago, and we watched a couple episodes of Monk together, and then me, him, and my stepmom watched a couple episodes of the show on Hulu. I guess it's like a Fox show called Accused. Mm-hmm. And so it's like basically like each episode is its own story, and it's someone in like they're basically on trial, and the show does flashbacks to show you how that person got to the point where they're on trial for whatever they're on trial for. Mm-hmm. So the first episode was the guy who played the Thing in the Fantastic Four movies, the bald guy,
Michael Chiklis.
He's on trial for I don't really want to say because it kind of ruins the episode then for those who are listening, but he's on trial. And then the second episode is the ex-wife from Killing It.
I don't know that.
She's a deaf actress. Mm-hmm. She's on trial for kidnapping and child endangerment. Mm. And I thought the ending of that episode was some bullshit. Wouldn't happen in real life. Totally, like, just ridiculous, but whatever. But, so we watched those 2 episodes, and then that was all we watched, because I ended up going home.
Yeah.
But the show was interesting, especially the first episode. It was a good way to kind of, and I know it got renewed already for a second season.
Mm. I saw your girl Peyton List was on Mythical Kitchen this week on Last Meal.
Yeah, and I saw that last week.
I was like, where do I know her from? I know her from Hey Jesse on the Disney Channel.
She also Cobra Kai.
Yeah, when I the Disney Channel, it was on because I only watched that shit on Netflix. But I remember watching a ton of Hey Jesse on Netflix, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's the older sister from that show." And I'm like, "Oh, now I see she's in that show you've been watching, School Spirits, which is what she was talking, basically what she was shilling on Mythical Kitchen." And I'm like, respect. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to know that she's still out there getting work. And that's also a very fun episode of Mythical Kitchen. So
yeah, I mean, I knew her from Cobra Kai.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I knew her from Cobra Kai as well. And then what else? I was like, oh yeah, that is her, but she just got short blonde hair now.
I still need to. I'm still a season behind on Cobra Kai. I need to get caught up.
And then it showed that she was like a child actress too. I didn't, I guess I aged out of watching what would have been her shows before. I'd
never heard of her before Cobra Kai.
Right on.
It's probably for the best. Like people can't accuse me of things if I don't know who child actresses are.
Yeah. Haters gonna hate, lovers gonna love.
It's like when I saw Spider-Man, I was like, man, this Zendaya lady may end up being something. Only to find out she's been something for like 10 years and I had no fucking idea.
Yeah. I thought anything else in the old realm of TV, YouTube, shit like that there?
I mean, I've been watching wrestling, for the most part. Like, I missed some of it because of the gym.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the Cavs last, 3 games because that shit was over. I knew what it was, yeah. I called that shit after the first game. They were outclassed. Like, Donovan Mitchell is a tremendous disappointment. Motherfucker didn't show up at all. Cavs are soft as Charmin on the inside with their fucking 100-pound 7-footers. And they got fucking waxed by a team that wanted it more. So enjoy your offseason, boys. Collect your $400 million or whatever, and come back next season and disappoint us again.
Oh, come on.
It's what it is to be a fan of Cleveland sports. It just is what it is.
Well, I mean, but they're stuck. Like, they have Darius Garland locked up to a $200 million contract that's about to be starting. They have Jared Allen locked up, and he's shown that he's not going to be good enough going forward. Like, he gets pushed around. Evan Mobley's on his rookie deal, but basically they have no assets to upgrade the team really because they traded all of it for Donovan Mitchell. So they can't trade a first round pick for 9 years. And so and then having all these players on these contracts means they're going to be up against the salary cap. So they have no conceivable way to improve the team. They just have to hope that the people they already have figure out a way to get better, because otherwise you're stuck.
Well, hopefully it works out for the better somehow, because we're up with hope and down with dope.
One hit away his whole career.
Oh, yeah, speaking of dope, I forgot I watched John Mulaney's new special on Netflix.
How is it?
First of all, I love John Mulaney.
Oh, okay.
But wasn't the best special. It was okay.
Fair enough.
Is this from before or after he knocked up what's her nuts?
Well after. Well and true after. Yeah, yeah. This is him talking about getting clean, and part of getting clean was him knocking up what's her nuts. Olivia Munn. Texting with Olivia Munn.
Yeah. Hoping
that she give me some.
Can you imagine you fucking drug addict, go into rehab, come out, leave your wife, and be like, I'm going to be with Olivia Munn now. That's quite the string of events.
Or some Rosie Jones, man. Hoes, man.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe part of getting clean was getting rid of the person that coddled you to do drugs. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe just wanted a total clean life.
Olivia Munn came in the picture. She's like, you ain't getting any punane if you're doing cocaine, sir.
I will gladly put away the drugs.
Well, I really do like punane.
Especially yours. It seemed real pretty. Oh my gosh, but that was the show, people. All the month of this is actually will be your first show of May. May the 4th be with you as you listen to this particular episode. But all May long we are celebrating 10 years of Stage Krunchy Milk, Cleveland's longest running podcast, with special guests and just good times and so forth and so on. Box and I are actually technically all three of us are going up to Detroit this weekend, just as two different entities. Anthony's going up for his nephew's graduation. Box and I are going up to go to Detroit Sneaker Con to go see one of T's favorite podcasts, Wind Up His Life, doing a live show sponsored by Monster Energy. And so
I'm going up to be the wingman and eat some Buddy's pizza.
Yeah, and we're probably possibly is a much better turn for going to link up with Balls Rock and Chris and do a little something with them. So that'll be fun.
If I was a betting man, I'd put that at plus 800.
And also, I'm kind of like, hey man, I got the passport. We can just go over to Windsor right quick and go buy some shit in Windsor. So.
Yeah, that went so well the last time.
Yeah, but see, this how we are. Like, literally, it is. What are you doing? I'm going to go buy shit in Windsor. Nothing else. It's right there.
Windsor's where I was at when they told me it's a gyro, not a gyro.
Okay, right on. Oh yeah, Greektown's right there. Yeah, over there. So yeah, when you cross the border.
We were over by the casino. We walked over there the one day and got a gyro.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like I said, it's possible all those things are going down this weekend, and like I said, all this month. So I hope you're gonna join us for the good times and the celebration and 10 years of doing this shit, and I have loved it. And
who knows? Maybe I'll throw caution to the wind, disregard all kind of financial parameters I have for safety, considering I talked about hating my job a half hour ago, and maybe I'll drop $400 on some brand new foam posits from 2013 or something.
I'm actually thinking I'm gonna wear my Optimus Primes to this con. I've only worn twice since I've owned them. So I'm gonna rock my Optimus Primes.
Just as long as you don't get no Galaxy phones and pay like $2,000 for a lunch.
I don't think I can afford $2,000 right now. You know.
We shall see. We shall see what SneakerCon has, and Anthony will of course send you all kinds of updates. Just be on the pivot. So you're gonna be out, man. I wonder. We'll figure it out. I hate that you're gonna be so near and so far at the same damn time. You feel me? But
I understand. I knew it always work out like that. Anytime it's something that we all want to do together, it's all like it never works out. But no, it doesn't. It ends up working out in another way, but it's always funny. Like, yes, the one time something going on in Detroit, yes, I will be in Detroit, but I will not be I won't be available that day. I will be in Detroit, at a graduation, and then a dinner, and then bowling, and then driving all the way back home.
Hey. You know what it is? It's at the top of the show, but I'll repeat it here at the end. Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show wherever possible. Give us a subscribe over on YouTube and over on Twitter. You got some money? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, got a little extra bread. And you're like, hey man, I like what these guys is doing.
You want to put on this composite fund?
Hey, that's real talk right there. Actually, just a quick let me give it up to the patrons. Every year, right around this time, it is time to re-up the website and email address for this very show. That podcast at stagecrunchymilk.com and the website that leads to stagecrunchymilk.com have to be paid for every year. And that has not had to come out of my pocket in a good 5-6 years because we have patrons. Like I said, we may not have a ton of patrons, but some of the show business is indeed handled by them, and that is the main thing. That is something they have personally taken care of every year for many a year now. And I like to show love and be thankful unto you for that. Like I said, if you got a couple of bucks to toss our way, man, get down with this with our Patreon. You know what I'm saying? You got early access to new shows and new content. I got like multiple episodes I need to post up, and I'm about to, like I said. All of May is 10 years of SKiM. I'm hitting it hard. You're gonna get a bunch of stuff all over the SKiM empire, and so I'm on that shit. Trust.
You might even get our real names.
No, but I mean, if you know, you know. So there you go. Those who are supposed to know do know, and that is just what it is. We got a shirt. You know what I'm saying? We got shirts available. Shirts. Stickers, notebooks, whatever you think it should be merchandised, we have it available over on our TeePublic store. And it is tpublic.com/user/stagecrunchymilk, all one word. Feel free to give us a call, 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We would certainly love to hear from you. You can text that number. You can voicemail that number. You are good to go. That is Big Anthony.
Yes.
A.K.A. Chesterfield Rockwell. The 216 zone. Feel me?
Allegedly.
That is Lunchbox 2099.
Yeah, I'm kind of tired.
No kind of to it. I am the Under Stereo 713. You have just been podcast to I Know You Loved It. We'll catch you next week. May the 4th be with you. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.